touchdown.
It's time for the NSAA Class D2 football quarterfinals. Our match here in front of us features the home team, the Pleasanton Bulldogs, coming in as the 11th seed, and at 9-1, they'll be taking on 5-seeded Sandhills Thedford. They are undefeated to this point, trying to continue that streak rolling. Gavin Higgins with you, and we have a great broadcast planned for you because not only are we here on the airwaves on 95.3 FM KBBN, we have a special video broadcast going as well. You can watch on our platforms, including Twitter at KBBN Sports, Facebook, Sandhills Express, our YouTube page, KCNI KBBN, and our website, sandhillsexpress.com. I'm Gavin Higgins. Brent Apperson will be the color man here this evening, and Jeremy Shipe is on the camera for our video platform. And of course, we cannot be here without all of our great sponsors, and they include the Roadside Inn, Bass Enterprises, Sargent Irrigation, Consolidated, Security First Bank of Thedford, Bubba's Smoke Shack, BD and Broken Bow, Gateway Motors, First State Insurance, Kyle and Carrie Hakey, Midwest Partitions, Ewolt's Grocery, Harsh Mercantile, Superior Livestock Auction, Sandhills Corral, Sandhills Public Schools, Evans Feed. Also brought to you by Nebraska State Bank, Grocery Cart, Trotter Service, Custer Federal State Bank, Rod's Body and Paint, Mead Lumber, Shelter Insurance, local agent Brent Custer, A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping, Squire Septic Service, Arrow Seed, Team Physical Therapy, Agland ATV. Also brought to you by Nebraska Land Surveying, 4 County Heating and Air, and Viero Wireless. And part of Viero Wireless' job here is to give us the ability to have the video broadcast available to you. And we have great sponsors also making that possible. They include Sargent Irrigation, Consolidated, Security First Bank of Thedford, Bubba's Smoke Shack, BD and Broken Bow, Gateway Motors, Kyle and Carrie Hakey, Midwest Partitions, Ewolt's Grocery, Harsh Mercantile, Superior Livestock Auction, Sandhills Corral, Sandhills Public Schools, Trotter Service, Custer Public Power District, Crossroads Auto Repair Specialists, and Sandhill Oil Company. We'll hear from some of those sponsors when we come back. We'll set things up between Sandhills Thedford and Pleasanton.
Support area sports. Give them a call to make your reservation today. 308-645-2284. Their rooms are sparkling clean, comfortable, and spacious. Plus, they're all decorated to reflect the spirit of the West. Jacuzzi suites, double queen, and king bedrooms are available. The next time you travel, remember the Roadside Inn in Thedford. 308-645-2284. That's the Roadside Inn. Proud to support the local youth.
Teresa Bass with Bass Enterprises, located in Broken Bow, is proud to support all varieties of sports in central Nebraska, and especially the athletes that compete in them. Teresa offers accident, dental, cancer, and hospital plans, as well as VSP Vision Insurance. Give her a ring at 870-1485 or swing in and talk to her in Broken Bow about how she can help with your coverage. Enjoy the broadcast brought to you by Teresa Bass with Bass Enterprises of Broken Bow.
Sargent Irrigation may be known worldwide, but their roots are right here in central Nebraska, something they are very proud of. They hire right here in the heartland and know their success is due to those quality employees. As a way of showing support for the community, Sargent Irrigation sponsors high school sports broadcasts, so those unable to attend can follow the action. Enjoy the broadcast, sponsored in part by Sargent Irrigation in Broken Bow.
Consolidated Companies is a proud sponsor of our student athletes. Everyone wants to get to the events and cheer on their students, but sometimes you just can't. Keeping up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies. The Security First Bank of Thedford combines modern banking innovation with that trusted hometown service to ensure every visit there is a good one. They enjoy helping the families, businesses, and ranches of the area reach their financial goals. The Security First Bank is also an avid supporter of high school activities and glad to sponsor this broadcast. Enjoy the game, sponsored in part by the Security First Bank of Thedford. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bubba's Smoke Shack in Pleasanton. Wood-smoked barbecue, mouth-watering brisket, award-winning barbecue sauce. You get the idea. Whether your event is big or small, they cover them all. Call Bubba's at 308-440-3680. Don't forget to include Bubba's famous beans. They're proud to say that homemade is all they do, and the word reheated is not in their vocabulary. Bubba's Smoke Shack of Pleasanton. Give them a call for your next event. 308-440-3680.
BD would love for you to be a part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember bd.com/careers to start your journey to being a part of their great team.
Getting closer to the kickoff between Sandhills, Thedford, and Pleasanton. They have just flipped the coin. We'll find out which team will be receiving and which one will be kicking here as we get closer to kickoff. Right now I want to take a look at the D2 bracket. We are in the quarterfinals. Sandhills, Thedford, and Pleasanton sit on the top of the bracket. We'll take a look at that second. Right now we look at the bottom half of the bracket. Right now the Central Valley and St. Mary's, they are the two teams facing off on the top side of that bottom bracket, and then Kennesaw and BDS coming in as the 2 seed. They were able to defeat Ansley Litchfield, a game we had on our sister station KCNI last week. BDS 50-28 over Ansley Litchfield. They take on Kennesaw, which is a rematch from earlier in the year. Now we'll take a look at the top side of the bracket. The number 1 seed, Falls City Sacred Heart, will be playing host to Osceola. Osceola got past Humphrey St. Francis in the second round. Falls City Sacred Heart was a 54-28 winner over the 16-seeded Creighton. So now the 1 seed taking on the 9 seed here in the quarterfinals. And of course, the game we have upcoming for you right here on KBBN and on our streaming platforms. Sandhills Thedford, the 5 seed, they were victorious over Loomis in the round previous and then were able to defeat Axtell in the opening round. Pleasanton picked up a win over Mullen in the first round, and then when they were re-ranked, they came in as the 13th seed and went on the road to Wynot, who was the 4 seed. And I say was the 4 seed, and obviously that is because Pleasanton had the upset. They come in to this game after beating Wynot 46-30. So a big win there from Pleasanton as they will now take on Sandhills Thedford, but definitely 2 different styles of teams, and we will see it here this evening. We'll take another timeout. When we come back, we'll have a visit with Coach Josh Dynas, our wonderful sports director and also the color man here this evening. Had a chance to sit down with Coach Dynas and talk about things before taking on Pleasanton here this evening. We'll be back with that interview here on KBBN 95.3 FM and online, sandhillsexpress.com, at KBBN Sports, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page.
They offer warranty forever. It's exactly what it sounds like. No cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, and no deductible. It's powertrain coverage you can get on qualifying new and pre-owned vehicles with less than 100,000 miles. If you need a truck bed, they are now CM truck bed dealers too. Gateway Motors in Broken Bow and Sandhills Motors in Arnold, home of warranty forever. Ask them about it today.
At First Aid Insurance of Arnold, their independent agents can offer their customers choices that can save you money. They're so excited for these young athletes and are happy to see them continue to play hard. Call Becky or Pat at 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First Aid Insurance of Arnold. Proud to support their local athletes by sponsoring this broadcast.
Kyle and Carrie Hickey are cheering on the Sandhills Thedford Knights. They are very proud of the hard work the team has shown on and off the field this season. To balance school and sports can be difficult, but this team has done it with flying colors. Congratulations, Knights, on all of your successes. Saying go Knights, Kyle and Carrie Hickey.
Midwest Partitions Incorporated in Thedford would like to take this opportunity to salute all of the student athletes in the area for working hard to prepare for every game of the season. Through all the hard work and determination you show, you're setting a foundation for a successful future after high school. Good work and play hard from Midwest Partitions, delivering expertise, efficiency, and execution. Midwest Partitions Incorporated in Thedford.
Ewald's Grocery is your local community connection for high-quality foods, friendly service, and great prices. Everyone at Ewald's Grocery takes pride in their community, and they appreciate your business. With over 80 years of business, they're honored and privileged to serve the local community. They're big supporters of the Sandhills Thedford Knights and love every opportunity they get to cheer on their hard work and dedication. Ewald's Grocery in Thedford, sponsors of this sports broadcast.
This high school sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Harsh Mercantile, proud supporters of the Sandhills Thedford Knights. Academics and athletics alike benefit these students, and Harsh Mercantile is proud of the kids, coaches, teachers, and parents. Stop by Harsh Mercantile in Purdom today and talk to them about your operation. Enjoy the broadcast brought to you by Knight supporters, Harsh Mercantile.
And at this time in our pregame show, we're visiting with Sandhills Thedford head football coach Josh Dynas. Coach, first off, just congratulations on another win in the playoffs. I know that you guys have some big goals still ahead, and every time you take another step forward, I'm sure feels like a great accomplishment.
Yeah, it really does. You know, the kids have put in a lot of hard work, and you know, getting to this point of the year, and you know, and currently being 10-0, you know, it's tough. It's not easy, you know, and so just like I said, finishing the season 8-0 and being district champs, and then you win your first two games in the playoffs, and now we're in the quarterfinals. Everything that we've accomplished up to this point, you know, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of dedication by the boys, and so it feels good up to this point, but, you know, we still have hopefully a few more games in us, and we got to just keep improving.
Coach, something I haven't asked you about yet is, you know, the format for the 8-man playoffs this year is a little bit different, and when I say that, I'm talking about the time frame in which you play the games. In the past, you would play on a Wednesday, and then the next week on a Tuesday, and then the next week on a Monday, so you were kind of working with 5-6 days in between. This year, you have a full week now before you play your next game. Has that changed at all the way in which you have handled practice compared to past years, or have things kind of stayed the same?
It's changed everything that we've done practice-wise. I know there are some coaches that aren't happy with the changes, I think, at the 8-man level, just because with going every 6 days, it makes sure that, like, when those games happen, like the 8-man guys get a lot of coverage by their area radio stations and, you know, the news channels and all that stuff. And me personally, I have loved the change. Before, with the everyday 6-day format, we were forced to practice on the weekends, and that's just hard to do where we live. We've always got it done, but, you know, we're such a spread-out community. You know, we have kids that drive 45 minutes one way to get to school, so, and if that kid has to come to Dunning or Thedford, you know, they have another half-hour drive on a bus just to get to practice. So that's really tough on the weekends. And, you know, when we had that 6-day format, we'd usually try to give the kids the next day off, and then us coaches would try to get a game plan together, and then try to practice, you know, the next couple days, and then a walkthrough, and then we're playing again, and then we're doing it again in 6 days. So it was really, really tough before. Like I said, I know some coaches don't like the change because they like to be the only show on that night for, like, the 8-man level. Me personally, I have loved the change because it's made it so we can have a normal week of practice as far as just what we do, and we haven't had to change anything really so much. And like I said, just where we live, it's helped out so much because, like I said, we got a family that drives 45 minutes one way to get to school, and I got boys on my side of the school that drive over a half hour just to get to school, just one way. So the travel that our kids are putting in just to get to school, and then on top of that, we practice every other day, either in Thedford or in Dunning. So we put in a lot of miles during the week, so it's been nice to have the playoff games every Friday and just not have to worry about anything over the weekends right now.
Coach, since we're kind of talking about practice, my question has to do with physicality of practice at this time of the season. I know, obviously, when we're starting the season, I'm sure a lot of those practices are pretty physical, and I know your brand of football is all about physicality. As you go further into the playoff picture now, do you dial back at all on the physicality of practice, or how do you manage that now that you've gone so deep into the playoff race?
Well, yeah, we dial it back a little bit from what we've done early in the season. It was 4 or 5 years ago, I think, the NSA put in a rule where you're only allowed 30 minutes, I think, a day of I'm trying to think of the right word that they use, but anyways, we're unpredicted outcome for practice. So if you're doing your scrimmage, or if you're doing a scrimmage, that'd be an unpredicted outcome. You're only allowed 30 minutes a day, and so we don't exceed that at all. You're not supposed to anyway. So, but from just that, our team time, anyways, when we get in the playoffs, a lot of the stuff we deal now is more situation, just making sure that we're identifying matchups, and I would say it is a little less physical, even when we get into those team periods. So try not to change a whole lot. Like I said, when we get to this point, if you're still playing, you're doing a lot of things right. We are, Pleasanton is, Osceola, Falls City on the same side, opposite of the bracket as us. They're doing things right. Central Valley and Kennesaw and all those schools left playing in D2. We're all doing something right up to this point. So I don't think you probably change a whole lot from what you're doing. But we do dial it back just a little bit, but not a whole lot. Like I said, it's more just kind of making sure mentally we know where we're going, because at this point of the season, you're probably clicking pretty well, offense and defense. You just got to fine-tune stuff.
Coach, I know that your running game has been such a big factor for your success this year. But even looking back to last week against Loomis, you made some things happen in your passing game. Can you talk about the passing game a little bit and just how it has progressed for you through the year?
Yeah, Grant's done a really nice job, for us at Q this year. The last couple summers he's worked really hard, with me, just working on his footwork and his overall delivery. And, last year, Brian was our starter, and both of them did a good job in the off season, just working and competing against each other. And, this year, Grant's turn to lead the ship. And like I've talked about before, I think he was a little nervous the first game of the year, just being the guy and calling the shots and stuff. And he struggled a little bit in that first game against Mullen, but ever since then he's done really well. And our running game has done really well this year, where we haven't had to throw the ball a lot. But when we have thrown, we've been very proficient. And, I think last game we threw 17 times. I think we were 9 of 17, I believe. So just a little over 50%, which is a little bit lower than what Grant's usually been completing in a game. So he's done really well. When his number has been called, he's stepped up and make the throws, and he's getting better too. There's still things that he needs to fix, and we're working on those each and every day to make him a better quarterback. But I've been really happy with his growth as a quarterback this year. He's getting better every week, and part of that's probably just a little bit of lack of reps at quarterback that he's had, overall in his career, just being behind Nolan when he's a freshman, and then Brian the last 2 years. So, like I said, just with all the reps that he's getting now, he's just grown by the quarter in the game, and he's getting better. And I think people saw last week against Loomis that he's got a good solid arm, and he's accurate when he has time. And so we just got to keep giving him time to throw, and I think we'll be all right.
Coach, you get Pleasanton now in the quarterfinals. You guys know each other pretty good. You played just a few weeks ago in the final regular season game of the year. It was for the district championship. You guys came out on top in that one, but this is, I'm sure you look at it as completely different. That was then, this is now. So talk a little bit about your preparation for the Bulldogs, and what are the keys for the Knights to be successful on Friday?
Yeah, it's going to be a whole new game, just like you said. The fact that we won at the last game of the regular season, doesn't mean a whole lot now because it's a new season and it's a one-game season for both of us. We win and we advance, and if we lose, we're starting basketball and wrestling. So, we just got to not pay attention to what happened last time. And I think the boys have done that up to this point. We've had a good week of practice up to this point, and but things that we just need to get cleaned up a little bit last week from Loomis. I thought Loomis did a good job, trying to slow us down in the run game. So I'm sure Pleasanton's going to see that film and try and do some similar things. So we need to get that cleaned up because I know Ricky, he's a good coach, and he's going to have his kids ready to go and probably try and implement some of that same stuff on defenses as they did. Defensively for us, though, I know they put Tice at quarterback last game a lot against us and did some more Wildcat stuff with him. I don't really see him doing that a whole lot this time. I think they'll try and spread us out and try and throw a little bit more to him and the wet kid and try and just get both those guys in open space. So we need to be ready for, I think, a whole new attack against us on Friday night.
Well, Coach, so have enjoyed watching your team through the season, and it's been a great ride, and we wish you and the kids the best of luck on Friday.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate the coverage.
That's head coach Josh Dynas joining us on KCNI KBBN Radio.
Superior Livestock Auction in Thedford is proud to be a sponsor of this sports broadcast. View their video cattle sales online, superiorlivestock.com. For more information about the sales, contact Lemoyne Daily at 402-760-2727. He'd be happy to help you with any questions you may have. Superior Livestock Auction in Thedford, 402-760-2727, and superiorlivestock.com. Proud to support the Sandhills Thedford Knights and this broadcast.
Make the Sandhills Corral in Thedford a destination for awesome food and great times. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 2 and 5 until 10, and feature daily specials as well as Mexican Mondays, wing night Thursday, and smoked prime rib on Fridays. Call ahead and check on specials at 645-2323. That's 645-2323 for the Sandhills Corral in Thedford, a community-minded restaurant with a home-cooked feel, because there's nothing better than a great meal and being treated like family. Check them out on Facebook, too. The Sandhills Corral, where it tastes like home and you feel like a neighbor.
The staff and administrators at Sandhills Public Schools are so proud of what this team has accomplished this season. They love backing the Knights. They get to see firsthand the hard work all their students put into their extracurricular activities all year long. No matter what activity or passion, Sandhills Thedford students set their goals high, and they're cheering them on every step of the way, saying, "Go Knights, Sandhills Public Schools."
Evans Feed Company helps to bring you this sporting event in appreciation of their many great customers. They've been providing quality feeds to central Nebraska with prices, products, and services unmatched. They deliver bulk and bagged feed all over the area and take pride in serving Nebraska's top-notch ag producers on a daily basis. They are Central Nebraska's feed superstore. Proud to support local sports programs. Evans Feed Company, 872-2119.
Since 1917, Nebraska State Bank has been helping Custer County and its neighbors progress with innovative products and superior service. And they are here with you, helping you achieve your goals, reinvesting in our area by involvement, leadership, and donation as a means to help others strive and succeed, and to further invest in our communities. With all of their locations here in Custer County, Nebraska State Bank is proud to serve you in Callaway, Myrna, and 2 locations in Broken Bow, and online anywhere all the time at nesb.bank. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Our staff at the Grocery Cart is proud to help bring you this sports broadcast featuring some amazing student athletes. At the Grocery Cart, we turn on the lights and unlock our doors every day, ready to serve you with a smile and helpfulness unmatched. We work hard to offer you great prices. Visit us online at thegkbrokenbow.com or 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the Grocery Cart in Broken Bow.
Just over 10 minutes away from the start of Pleasanton and Sandhills Thedford here in the quarterfinals of the Class D2 football playoffs. I now welcome in my broadcast partner, Brent Apperson. Hello, sir.
Hi, Gavin. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing great. What a great night for football, and what a great place to be here in Pleasanton as we get ready for the state quarterfinals. One of these two teams is going to take another step and be one win away from playing for a state championship. What an exciting night.
And let's take a look at how they got to this point. Sandhills Thedford making it undefeated through their regular season. Of course, they were district champions as well. And this is the second time these two teams have faced off. The regular season came to an end here in Pleasanton for both teams, as Sandhills Thedford was victorious 77-24. And as you look back at that game, just a dominant performance by Sandhills Thedford. But, looking at last week with the win against Wynot, Pleasanton is not going to go away easy.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And, for Pleasanton, they've been on the field now with Sandhills Thedford. So they know what the Knights are about. And Coach Westland and his staff, hey, these are a group of guys that took the team all the way to the state finals a year ago. They know how to make adjustments. And as we visited earlier in the week with Sandhills Thedford head coach Josh Dynas, he said, listen, that game really doesn't have any relevance tonight. This is a whole new ball game. Each team really has the same record tonight. And so it's all about advancing and who is able to play, I think, the most error-free football tonight.
And as you look at the last 2 weeks, the playoffs for both teams, first round, talked about Sandhills Thedford were able to defeat Axtell 68-22. They took on Loomis last week, were able to win that one 60-16. And then Pleasanton, first round against Mullen, able to handle the Broncos 46-24, and then took on the Blue Devils of Wynot, the 4th seed, which I think, if you look at the seedings, it was a big upset. But when you kind of look your way back through the stats and how the game went along, Pleasanton really dominated from the start.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Gavin. When you get into the playoffs, it really does become about matchups, right? I mean, you can go by the seeds, but sometimes you just get two teams that match up. While they may be different in the seeding on the field, it's a lot different than what the seeds show. And so Pleasanton certainly was ready to play, and a big win for them as they get to host the quarterfinal tonight.
We'll take another timeout. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups for you between Sandhills Thedford and Pleasanton.
Go Trotter, where you'll always get more for your dollar. We're your little friendly store, and we're right next door. That's what we're here for. Go see Trotter.
Trotter Service is your #1 partner in keeping your operation running smoothly. Whether you need a new battery, brakes, an alignment, or any other repair, they have a specialist that'll get it done right. Can't get away from the farm or ranch? They offer bulk oil and fuel delivery and on-the-farm tire truck service too. Proud to work with the farmers and ranchers of the area. Trotter's Tire Pros. West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Many traditional lenders often avoid financing business startups, business ownership transactions, and blue sky transactions. Not Custer Federal State Bank. They use programs to help meet these undeserved lending areas. Their preferred lender process even reduces submitted documents to the government agency, Farm Service Agency, small business, and rural development loans. Custer Federal State Bank can help with them all. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans are subject to credit approval. One thing we definitely desire perfection on is our vehicles. You want something that gets you to where you're going comfortably while looking great. Whether storm damage, deer damage, or insurance claim, take your ride to Rod's Body and Paint Broken Bow. They're the collision specialist. You should call 308-872-5346. Offering over 42 years of experience, they'll get you back on the road quickly without sacrificing quality. From dings and dents to full replacement and auto glass repair. Rod's Body and Paint, West Highway 2, Broken Bow. Ready or not, here comes the chilly season. Are you already noticing some cold drafts coming into your home, chilling the air? Don't make your heating system work harder than it needs to. Talk to Mead Lumber and Broken Bow about insulation solutions to keep the cold where it belongs, outside. The helpful staff at Mead Lumber and Broken Bow can offer solutions that will save you money when the weather gets chilly. Talk to them today, East Highway 2, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Shelter Insurance's auto rates are falling. See Agent Brent Custer for details. Did you know that A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping has an awesome 5-step fertilizer program? Anytime is a good time to hop into the plan and get your lawn nice and healthy, including right now in the fall. The control of weeds, strengthening of grass, and insecticide are all benefits. All 5 applications are strategically scheduled so you can do the most good for your lawn possible. Talk to them at A to Z Lawn Pro about the transition into the fertilizer program and how easy it is to have your lawn looking amazing.
And we welcome you back to Pleasanton, Nebraska, getting close to the kickoff now between Pleasanton and Sandhills. Thedford, the winner, will advance out into the state semifinals a week from tonight. Time now to take a look at your starting lineups for tonight's game, and they're being brought to you by Nebraska Land Surveying. Owner Jay Gormley has been in the business for over 42 years, providing affordable land surveying. Call 872-6009 or his cell at 308-293-4690. Also, check out his website. You'll find it at nebraskals.com. Nebraska Land Surveying in Broken Bow. Now to set up your starters for tonight's game, here's Gavin Higgins.
We'll start with the Sandhills Thedford Knights, as they are the away team here in Pleasanton. And the starters look like this. Grant Ahlstrom, a senior at 140 pounds. Matt Daly, a senior at 155 pounds. Parker Ballinger, a 160-pound junior. Dane Picorni, he'll be getting the rock a ton here this evening. He's a 195-pound junior. Reese Zudevern, also a junior at 190 pounds. Drew McIntosh, he is a junior at 190 pounds. Reed McFadden, 210-pound senior. Brayton Brannick, a 270-pound senior. Head coach is Josh Dynas. For the Pleasanton Bulldogs, starters right down the line. Tice Westland, a senior, 6 feet 5 inches. He's a 224-pound senior. Draven Went, a sophomore at 5 feet 10 inches, 176 pounds. Wyatt Reese, a senior, 214 pounds. He is 6 feet 1 inch. Cinch Heichel, a senior, 5 feet 10 inches, 156 pounds. Craig Kingston, a junior, 6 foot 1, 170 pounds. Brodick Pates, a senior, 5 feet 11 inches, 165 pounds. Carter Klein, a junior, 6 feet 4 inches, 270 pounds. Jayshon Pogue, a junior at 6 feet 4 inches, 280 pounds. And Blake Wilson is a sophomore at 6 feet 2 inches, 223 pounds. Head coach is Ricky Westland for the Bulldogs. Well, we can't be here without some great support, obviously, by our sponsors that make this possible, but also a big shout out goes out to the Pleasanton athletic director and just her staff in general. Brent, really great hospitality here.
Yeah, we can't say thanks enough to Mr. Loomis and the wonderful people here at Pleasanton who have helped set us up here tonight so that we can bring you not only the radio call, but put that radio call along with our video stream. A big thank you to them, and really a big thanks to all of the wonderful athletic and activities directors that we've been able to work with through KCNI and KBBN Radio, those who have set us up for radio broadcasts and even some of the video streaming that we've kind of tapped into, especially with the COVID-19 situation and understanding that not everybody can come out to the game or maybe feel safe coming out to the game. This is an opportunity to still take in the viewing of it, and we can't thank our activities directors and the folks here at Pleasanton tonight enough for helping us get set up.
Just a few minutes away from kicking things off here in Pleasanton, currently doing the non-starters of Sandhills Thedford. Well, we have a few moments. Brent, let's kind of look at kind of the two teams, who to focus on, and kind of what your thoughts are. First, we'll start with Pleasanton. Craig Kingston, has gone 63 for 102 for 1,251 yards through the air. And the person that he looks to a lot is Tice Westland. He's the end at 38 receptions, 821 yards, and 15 touchdowns. It's going to be something that Sandhills Thedford is going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Westland is certainly one of the key factors for Pleasanton. I mean, when you have a kid that is recruited by and has committed to the University of Wyoming, that tells you right there how good he is when he can go to the next level and play college football at the University of Wyoming. He's a versatile kid. Yes, you're going to see him out in pass routes. You're going to see Pleasanton use him in the pass game. Don't be surprised if maybe they even line him up in the Wildcat from time to time. Versatile player and a very talented athlete.
Also has 115 total tackles on the season, 53 solo and 62 assisted. Sandhills Thedford, the story is very simple. It'll be handed off to Drew McIntosh and either get him down or get out of the way because he will run you over. Excuse me, not Drew McIntosh, but Dane Picorni. Drew will be sitting on the inside. He'll be catching quite a few balls as well from Grant Ahlstrom, but Picorni, you got to knock him down. He has 1,503 yards and 29 touchdowns. There's a reason why he is such a versatile player and such an impactful player to the game.
Well, yeah, and the thing with Picorni, what you would love is if there was a statistic that was showing his yards after contact, because, I mean, this is a kid that does not shy away from contact. His balance, his strength, his power, after he's hit the first time, he can still go for many yards after that. That's going to be one of the keys for Pleasanton. When they make that initial hit, can they bring him down, or will Picorni be getting yards after contact tonight?
Defensively, when you look at Sandhills Thedford, they are led in tackles by Reed McFadden. He has 74 total tackles on the season, 37 solo and 37 assisted. A few minutes away from kickoff here in Pleasanton. We'll take one final timeout. When we come back, we'll be ready to kick off the quarterfinals. Sandhills Thedford, Pleasanton on the way.
The worst emergencies to have.
Absolutely.
The next time you're facing one, give Squires Septic Service a call. 870-0717. He's ready to take your call 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
His sewer camera can find problems fast to save you money. Plus, he can clear drains with Roto-Rooter or Jetter. Oh, and Gary has Porta units, too. Squires Septic Service of Myrna. 870-0717. Don't wait to call until it's too late.
Absolutely not.
Be ready to process that first year of the season with a trip to AeroSeed. AeroSeed has everything you'll need, from grinders and slicers to seasoning and casings to smokers and dehydrators and packaging supplies. Never processed before? No problem. How-to videos and expert advice are also available. Not a hunter? Beef and pork make great jerky and snack sticks too. Stop in to AeroSeed on North 10th Avenue in Broken Bow today to stock up on all your processing supplies.
Are you having a hard time getting moving after your surgery? Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. If you have recently undergone surgery to your knee, hip, shoulder, back, or wrist, or having trouble doing the things you love, call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. With our highly trained staff in orthopedic rehabilitation, we are committed to getting you moving again. Call us at any of our locations close to you, or check us out at myteampt.com. 872-5111.
Friendly rivals, hometown pride, wearing your school's colors. Small towns are brought together cheering on their favorite teams. Agland ATV knows how hard the athletes and coaches work year-round and are proud to help sponsor the games of our customers and their kids and grandkids. We have built relationships with many of these families through the years and are proud of their success. Best of luck to all the local athletes from Agland ATV in Broken Bow.
872-3424.
Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow. 872-3424.
The name of the game is simple: win and advance. Sandhills Thedford won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. Pleasanton will receive. As you imagine the field in front of you, Sandhills Thedford will move from right to left. They're wearing their black pants, white tops, green numerals, and Pleasanton in their all reds with the white numerals. Kicking things off is Braden Gugamus, and we are underway from Pleasanton. Puts his foot into it, and back to receive is Went. He'll take it at the 1 yard line. He'll find a seam on the far side and then get knocked down just right at the 15 yard line, which is where the offense for Pleasanton will start.
Well, Gavin, whenever you come into a game of this magnitude, one thing you're always looking at, security of the football. And I'm sure that both of these coaches told their kids, we have to protect the football because turnovers could certainly play a major factor in this game tonight.
So we'll see the offense of Pleasanton first. Going under center, Craig Kingston. Kingston will hand the ball off on the near side, trying to find any space there was the Pleasanton offense. just nothing doing. As coming through that was Traven Went. It'll be a no gain on the play as the defense for Sandhills Thedford holds on the first play.
Well, so many times you hear in football the game's going to be decided up front, and that time the Sandhills Thedford front held up strong. Basically no gain to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Kingston will go under center. Went will be in the backfield, and Westland will be right in front. They'll hand it off. They're going to pull an option, kind of, as Kingston was trying to pull it out of the belly of Went. Neither one wanted to give it up, and the tackle were coming off of the hands, I believe it was McIntosh who was in there, and that'll be another gain of 0 for Pleasanton.
Yeah, McIntosh and Reed McFadden really fought off their blocks well, had it sniffed out, and Kingston, I think, was thinking about pulling it, but McIntosh and McFadden had both people covered, and so there was nowhere to go.
3rd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trying to get something going. Kingston will go under center. Weston will be on the far side as he goes to the end position. They'll fake the handoff, have a misdirection on the far side, and then running a man over was Wentz. But unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it was only a gain of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down and long for Pleasanton.
Well, you know, when you look at the statistics, obviously for Sandhills Thedford, you look at all the offense they put up, but I think the most impressive statistics they put up, Gavin, is defensively. I mean, this is a defense that is only allowing an average of 11.9 points per game. That's incredible.
Kingston will step back into punt formation. Back to receive will be Zudavern and Gugamis. Punt on the way, hits at the 40. And Sandhills Thedford will just let it roll down to the 33-yard line, which is where the offense for the Knights will take over. Good punt there by Kingston. They're actually going to have the first touch, so it will be marked up at the 34, almost to the 35. As one of the Pleasanton players' foot got into it, pushed it a little farther. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Sandhills Thedford. Moving from right to left. Picorni in the backfield, Zudavern ahead of him. Ahlstrom under center. Ahlstrom takes the snap, hands it off to Picorni, goes to the near side, looking for a hole, runs into a man, and he'll pick up a gain of about 5 on the play. There's a reason when you look at his stats, he averages 10 yards a carry. That is absolutely incredible and pretty good position to put your offense in.
Yeah, and that was a good hit by Wen, who came up and took him man on man, was able to hang on, and then Westland came in to help clean up. That's going to be critical again, being able to get Picorni down on first contact.
Sandhills Thedford on their own 39-yard line. Ahlstrom under center. He'll hand it off to Picorni. Finds a seam on the near side, fighting for some extra yards. He'll pick up at least 2 after contact. That'll bring up 3rd and short and really open up the playbook for Sandhills Thedford, who now moves into Pleasanton territory.
Boy, just impressive with the way Picorni can read blocks. That time a little jump cut in the hole, able to pick up a couple of more, and now a big 3rd down on this opening possession for the Knights.
Ahlstrom under center. I formation. Hands it off to Zudavern. He's through the hole, and he'll pick up the 1st down for the Knights. Very, very close, as the near side official marked him down at the 35-yard line, which is enough to pick up the first. So Sandhills Thedford, here in the beginning part of their first possession, has picked up their first down.
And early on, everything in between the guards and the 2 ends as Sandhills Thedford is going with the power look early.
Snap back, looking to pass, looking for McIntosh in the middle. Ahlstrom heaves what, looking downfield, overthrew everyone though. It'll fall to the field, incomplete, as McIntosh kind of cut off his route as he was double covered. Good defense in the secondary by Pleasanton.
Yeah, great coverage by Kingston, and Went was back there too. And, that's critical. When you run the ball like Sandhills Thedford does, it's easy for those defensive backs to get sucked up inside, and then you send the end down the middle of the field. That time, Pleasanton did not bite, and a good job of coverage.
They'll go back into the I formation, Zudavern and Picorni. Ahlstrom awaits the snap. He gets it. Hands it off to Picorni. Look on the far side. He'll break through 1 tackle. Breaks through a second. He'll eventually be ridden down, but not before a gain of 12. Nearly 13 by Picorni. And that is how effective he can be. 2nd and long. Now first down and 10.
Yeah, great run again by Picorni, just following his blocks up the middle, able to break a tackle in the hole, and The next thing you know, Sandhills Thedford has a first down and 10 inside the 25.
We'll go back to the exact same formation. Don't expect him to change it too much. Ahlstrom under center. He'll take the snap, hands it off near side to Picorni, fights his way through a hole. He'll pick up a couple on the play. Second down and about 8.
You know, when you get to a game of this magnitude, one thing you're always preaching defensively is don't give up the home run. You know, if they're going to gain yards, you make them take it in little chunks to give your defense a chance. And so far, that's kind of what Pleasanton is doing on this drive. But Sandhills Thedford still able to move the ball here and there.
I formation. Ahlstrom takes the snap, misdirection, far side Picorni. Waits for his blockers, fights through. Has to take about 4 to 5 Pleasanton players before he's able to get knocked down. That'll bring up third and about 2 to 3 for Sandhills Thedford. Kind of at a funny angle from this distance.
Man, what another tough run. Man, all kinds of red shirts on his back, and Picorni was still able to carry people for an extra 2-3 yards.
Now, Jeremy, who's behind the camera, and myself, we've seen Sandhills Thedford quite a few times. This is the first time that you've been able to see him, Brent, and definitely as advertised, I would say. Ahlstrom under center. He'll take the snap, hands it off Picorni. Big hole on the far side, stiff arms a man. He'll make it up to the 10-yard line. He's still not down, still fighting for the yards, and he'll be knocked down at the 4-yard line. Yards after contact. I'm guessing he picked up about 15 after being touched. Big run there by Picorni. So strong as he just fights through every possible attempted tackle, and he's able to pick up first and goal for Sandhills Thedford. And you were talking about the home run ball, Brent. They just missed having a home run there.
Well, I mean, that run right there symbolizes what Picorni's about, didn't it? I mean, hit after about a 5-yard gain, and then the next thing you know, he picks up 15, 16 yards.
They'll have Zudevern split to the near side. They're going to pitch it out near side to Picorni. He's looking for a hole, lowers the shoulder, and he is in the end zone. 6 points. Picorni from 4 yards out gives Sandhills Thedford a 6-0 lead here in the first quarter. 6:11 on the clock. Sandhills Thedford takes their first offensive possession and punches it in, now looking to add 2 more.
And don't overlook these point-after conversions, Gavin. These can be very critical as we go through the course of the game.
They'll go I formation. Ahlstrom will take the snap under center, hand it off to Picorni, looking for the end zone. Close, no signal, no signal. And they will say he did not make it in. So Sandhills Thedford scores first, but they are not able to punch in the point after conversion. So now it sits 6-0 in favor of Sandhills Thedford.
The Roadside Inn in Thedford is proud to support area sports. Give them a call to make your reservation today. 308-645-2284. Their rooms are sparkling clean, comfortable, and spacious. Plus, they're all decorated to reflect the spirit of the West. Jacuzzi suites, double queen, and king bedrooms are available. The next time you travel, remember the Roadside Inn in Thedford. 308-645-2284. That's the Roadside Inn, proud to support the local youth.
Sandhills Thedford punches it into the end zone first. They lead 6-0 here early in the first half. Gugamus will tee it up, and he will send it underway from right to left. Good boot, puts his foot into it, and it'll go over the head of Went as it carries into the end zone. Touchback. Pleasanton will take over at their 15-yard line.
Well, it was a 46-yard drive for Sandhills Thedford, and 42 of those 46 yards was picked up by number 22.
Big runs there, as we've become accustomed to here from Sandhills Thedford. And an absolutely gorgeous night here in Pleasanton.
Oh, man. You said it. How wonderful is this? I'm in a sweatshirt. It's November.
Kingston under center I formation. They will hand it off to the second man through on the near side. Coming is Went, and he'll be knocked out of bounds, but not before picking up about 5 yards in the play. Mark him out of bounds a little bit short, so a gain of 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Pleasanton.
Well, you love the hit that went delivered on the defensive back who came up to make the hit, and that's going to be critical for Pleasanton tonight. And I know that Coach Westland's probably talked to him about it. You got to meet Sandhills Thedford's physicality, and Went delivered a good hit on the offensive run there.
Wildcat formation, far side is Went, looking for a hole on the far side, but the defense for Sandhills Thedford bottles him up. He'll gain about a foot, and that is it. Good formation there as they had on the far side. Leading the blocking was Westland, but unfortunately he is unable to block more than about 2 people, and Sandhills Thedford were able to wrap him up and drop him.
And these guys right up front, boy, Brayton Brannick, 270 pounds, a senior. He's right over the nose of the football. And, man, there have not been a whole lot of people who have been able to get him blocked, and now he's kind of moving off the nose of the football off to the right.
Went will take the snap, and he's going to go nowhere. Wildcat formation immediately came to the near side, tried to show that misdirection, but the defense for Sandhills Thedford holds tough and brings up 4th down. And just when you thought Pleasanton was maybe starting to catch a little momentum, Sandhills Thedford shuts the door.
Well, and that's what they've been able to do to teams through the course of the season. You know, again, you look at all these points that they've put up, but to me, equally as impressive is the minimum amount of points that they've given up defensively in 2 3-and-outs to start the game for Sandhills Thedford.
Kingston will punt it away. High kick that will carry out of bounds. We'll see where the officials mark it. Still coming up on the far side. Crossing the 40, now to the 35, and it will be down at the 35-yard line on Pleasanton's side of the field. So a high-powered offense of Sandhills Thedford is going to start in Bulldog territory.
Yeah, that's tough for Pleasanton to see Sandhills Thedford starting on their side of the field, but now for the Bulldogs defense, you have to try to step up, respond, and see if you can find a way to slow down this, boy, just impressive Sandhills Thedford running game.
Alstrom will take the snap under center, looking to pass, trying to find someone, finds Zudevern on the near side, and he just overthrew him. That was 6 points for Sandhills Thedford, but Alstrom just a little bit too much air under it, and it falls incomplete, 2nd down.
Well, and I'll guarantee you Sandhills Thedford has been working on their passing game because they know, Gavin, as they go further into the playoffs, teams are going to load the box. They're going to try to stop Corny, and that's going to give them some opportunities through the passing game down the field. McFadden was open, but Alstrom missed him by just a couple of yards.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 for Sandhills Thedford. The big advantage for the Knights, too, is even when you're in the 2nd or even 3rd and long situations, Picorni in the backfield, he's almost guaranteed at least 3 or 4 yards. Alstrom with a snap. Speaking of Picorni, near side coming. He is able to dodge one tackler onto the 30, 25. Runs over a man. Juke step. He's down to the 15, and they will eventually knock him down. But not before he picks up the 1st down and gets down to the 11-yard line. That's a man who does not shy away from contact as he runs over a would-be defender.
My goodness, what a run. Unofficially, I've got it at 22 yards on the run for Picorni. That's already got him over 60. But again, boy, the physicality with which he runs, and that's why he has gained so many yards after contact this year.
I formation for the Knights. They're knocking on the doorstep of Pleasanton, looking to pass his Alstrom. He's got McIntosh wide open. He's going to throw it to Zudevern short, and that's a touchdown catch. That'll be a 13-yard touchdown pass from Alstrom to Zudevern, who was just a little bit long on the last one. That time he is dead on and gives Sandhills Thedford a 12-0 lead.
Well, and again, you know, that's what we talked about. That's what makes this offense so dangerous, especially with the way Alstrom has continued to mature as a quarterback in the way of throwing the football. You're so concerned about the running attack with Picorni, so you bring everybody up, and then that can open up some things in the passing game as Sandhills Thedford scores through the air.
Looking to go for 2 more. Alstrom under center. Zudevern split off to the far side. And they're going to hand it off to him in a misdirection. He will go to the end zone, and he'll score 2 points for the Knights, who now lead 14-0 here in the first quarter. 4:05 remaining here in the first, and a great start for Sandhills Thedford, not only offensively, but defensively. They've given a little, and I think Kurt Crawley said it perfectly last week when they took on Loomis. A couple moments where the Wolves were able to pick up some big yards, but then that defense holds strong and does not allow any more. And besides that scoop and score, that would have been a 0 spot for Loomis last week. Sandhills Thedford will now kick it away, up 14-0. Great crowd on hand, very spread out. Wonderful field here in Pleasanton. It's kind of, if you've never been here, it sits right in the middle of town, a little bit in a bowl, so the wind, which was supposed to be whipping of up to 25 miles per hour, possibly even gusts up to 30, not really that effective here on the field, as the flag on the north side of the field just lightly whipping in the wind. Gugamus tees it up. Went will await. Gugamus puts his foot into it, and that's a touchback. No doubt about it, as that will actually hit in the end zone and bounce over the uprights. As Braden Gugamus puts his foot into it. Only 115-pound sophomore, but he has a wicked leg.
And that's a weapon, you know. I mean, especially when you look at the weapons that Pleasanton has who can return the football, to not give them the opportunity and to constantly have teams starting at around their own 15-yard line, that's a big advantage for Sandhills Thedford.
Now we've seen Gugamus. He'll kick an extra point from time to time. Had 2 attempts last week. One was a doink and the other one just a little bit wide. Went will take the snap, looking to try and find something in the middle, and the defense swarms, but he's able to pick up a few on the play, as it'll bring up 2nd down and about 8 for the Bulldogs, trying to get their offense going. Just right now, Sandhills Thedford has just been all over not only the backfield, but also in the middle as well.
Yeah, good job of closing, too. When that play developed and first began, you thought maybe Went was going to have something up the middle, but then Sandhills Thedford able to pursue and close the gap quickly.
Went will be in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, comes to the near side, and the defense, he's able to squirt free and pick up about 2 yards. They had him for a loss, but Went shifty, able to squeeze through the middle, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 5 for Pleasanton.
That's a heck of a 2-yard run. I mean, it was. Went was kind of gathered in the backfield, but able to stay on his feet and fight forward for a couple of yards to make it 3rd down and about 5.
And it'll be a timeout from Pleasanton. With 3:02 remaining here in the first quarter, Sandhills Thedford leads 14-0.
With Bass Enterprises, located in Broken Bow, is proud to support all varieties of sports in central Nebraska, and especially the athletes that compete in them. Teresa offers accident, dental, cancer, and hospital plans, as well as VSP Vision Insurance. Give her a ring at 870-1485 or swing in and talk to her in Broken Bow about how she can help with your coverage. Enjoy the broadcast, brought to you by Teresa Bass with Bass Enterprises of Broken Bow.
Sargent Irrigation may be known worldwide, but their roots are right here in central Nebraska, something they are very proud of. They hire right here in the heartland and know their success is due to those quality employees. As a way of showing support for the community, Sargent Irrigation sponsors high school sports broadcasts, so those unable to attend can follow the action. Enjoy the broadcast, sponsored in part by Sargent Irrigation in Broken Bow.
Sandhills Thedford leading 14-0 here in the first quarter. Coming out of that timeout, trying to draw something up is Coach Westland for the the Bulldogs. Taking the snap, looking to pass, and getting smoked as the ball rolls backwards. Picking it up and falling on it is Sandhills Thedford. And Kingston never saw the blitz coming, and he got rocked.
Well, McIntosh was the one who recovered the football. I'm not sure who made the hit. May have been Reed McFadden. I didn't quite see it, but oh man, the backside pressure jarring the ball loose. And then McIntosh doing the smart thing. Instead of trying to pick it up, he realized, hey, let's just fall on this thing. And he does, to set up Sandhills Thedford inside the 10.
Turnovers were a big factor in that first matchup between these two teams. 5 turnovers for Pleasanton. Sandhills Thedford first and goal. They'll hand it off to the main man, Picorni, but Pleasanton able to bottle him up as he will pick up about 2 on the play, bring up second down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, good play by number 94, Jyshawn Pugh. Hope I'm saying that correctly. 280-pound junior. Good play up front to get down around the ankle of Picorni and hang on and bring him down.
They'll bring up second down from the 5-yard line as the first quarter winds under 2.5, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Sandhills Thedford trying to take a 3-score lead heading in only to the second quarter. They're knocking on the doorstep. Alstrom under center. Zudervan split out on the right side. Misdirectional, handed off to Picorni near side, looking for a hole, and he's in. Touchdown, Sandhills Thedford. Picorni, he's got 2 touchdowns on the ground for the Knights, and they are rolling offensively, and to be honest, they're rolling all over the field right now. They're up 20-0.
Well, just, my goodness, tremendous balance, right? I mean, not just offensively. Of course, we know what their run game does. We've seen Alstrom go to the air for a touchdown, but defensively, offensively, it's the complete package for Sandhills Thedford.
Doesn't hurt when you also have a guy in the backfield that doesn't shy away from any kind of contact.
No, he kind of likes to initiate it.
As we'll have a flag on the field, as I believe Pleasanton may have jumped off sides with contact. We will see. And there will be encroachment called against Pleasanton, so half the distance to the goal, which is about a step, maybe a step and a half. And we'll have another attempt at the 2-point conversion for Sandhills Thedford. The Knights probably not caring too much about the 1.5 yards that they just picked up there, because they're going to snap the ball here, looking for that 2-point conversion. They're going to fake the pass, throw a missile right to McIntosh, but breaking it up, and a good defensive play was Wendt and Kingston. So the 2-point conversion is no good, and Sandhills Thedford leading 20-0 here with 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes in the first quarter.
Companies is a proud sponsor of our student athletes. Everyone wants to get to the events and cheer on their students, but sometimes you just can't. Keeping up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies.
20-0 with 2:07 remaining here in the first quarter. Sandhills Thedford will kick it away. Gugamus's kick is very high, and taking it at the 1-yard line is Wendt. He's looking for a hole in the near side. He's got one. He's to the 30. He's to the 35. He's up to midfield, and he'll be knocked down into Sandhills Thedford territory. And that is exactly what you talked about, Brent, that dangerous special teams game for Pleasanton, as it pays off right there.
Yeah, and credit Gugamus, the kicker. If he doesn't get in front of Wendt and bring him down, that is a touchdown. But that is a big spark now for Pleasanton. Big return by Wendt, brings it into Sandhills Thedford territory. And now we'll see if that can ignite Pleasanton's offense, which just has not been able to do anything so far in their first 3 times touching the ball.
In the backfield is Martinson for the first time. He'll hand it off, is able to get it to see the number once he pops free, but able to pick up at least 2 on the play. As I believe that is Wyatt Reese, the senior.
2 yards, second down and 8.
Just trying some new looks, I think, is Coach Westland trying to show any difference on this offense to get something going, as they're in great field position here as we tick under 2 minutes. Martinson will stay in the backfield. He's in shotgun, steps back to pass, scrambles back. He's going to get hit right as he throws it. Pass in the middle of the field. We got flags all over the place, and a big hit, and that's going to be another flag for a blindside hit. So we are going to have a moment as we sort things out. At least one penalty will go against Pleasanton on the crackback, and we will see what the first flags were for.
Well, I saw an initial signal of a hold, so I think that's one of the penalties.
The hold, I'm assuming, will go against Sandhills Thedford. The crackback block definitely will go against Pleasanton. The question will be, do they offset? Will they mark them off? The fun game of, thank God I'm not wearing the stripe today. As we'll continue the discussions. Big thank you to Viera Wireless for being a sponsor and allowing us to be here. They're providing high-speed wireless internet to video stream high school sports along with some of our radio broadcasts here on KCNI and KBBN. You can stop by the store in Broken Bow at 841 South D Street or call 308-872-1535 to find out how Viera Wireless can provide you quality services with a plan to fit your needs and budget. And the holding call does go against Sandhills Thedford. And then after the play, dead ball foul will go against Pleasanton, so they will mark off both fouls because the one was a dead ball. And it was bang, bang. I don't think the Pleasanton player really was going to be able to pull off in time.
Well, the officials now are visiting with each other to determine how this should be marked off. I'm not exactly sure. You almost think that you would mark off the penalty against Sandhills Thedford first, and then if it's a dead ball penalty against Pleasanton, then you mark that off. Does that make sense? I guess we'll see how they do it.
The interesting part was they marked the ball actually as a first down, so if Pleasanton declines it, it actually probably would have been a first down, and then you back it up 15 and reset the sticks. Regardless, they're going to mark off the penalty for Sandhills Thedford, which is a 10-yard holding call from the 30-yard line.
And now they'll mark off the penalty against Pleasanton, right? They're still trying to figure it out, too.
Yeah, definitely credit to them for at least talking it through and not just going with something because, you know, it's a high-pressure situation for sure. But they will mark that back, so it will be from the previous spot will be the holding. So they will mark it off from the previous spot, so 10 yards from there. And then the official will stop, do a 180, and walk backwards.
And there he goes.
And after all of that, it will be second down and about 13 for Pleasanton.
So all of that really goes against Pleasanton.
It does.
Basically what happens, because now you're looking at second down and long. And because I'm a terrible stat keeper, I ain't even going to keep track of the penalties.
They are actually going to make it first down.
Okay,
because that would have been the first play following the kickoff. So after all of that, it is now first down for Pleasanton, and they will remark the sticks. I don't know.
And make it first down and 10.
First down and 10. Meanwhile, we haven't played a down of football in about 5 minutes, but we're back to action now. Martinson will take the snap, looking to pass near side, trying down the line. They're going to throw it up, and then making the catch and coming down with it was Wentz, as that'll be a big pickup for Pleasanton. We'll mark him down at the 8-yard line, and the offense for the Bulldogs is in business.
Yeah, great throw by Martinson and a great comeback by Wentz. Pretty good coverage. Ball slightly underthrown, and that actually, I think, worked to Wentz's benefit because he was able to make the adjustment on the ball, come back and make a great catch.
We'll have two split out to the near side, one to the far side. Martinson in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, looking to pass far side. Telegraphed his pass, and he'll overthrow the would-be receiver Kingston on the far side. That's a dangerous throw going from the near side of the field to the far side, but it was far enough away from everyone that it'll fall harmlessly to the ground.
Well, you read the statistics as we came on the air, Gavin, and we know what Westland can do, especially when he goes out as a receiver. And you can see defensively that Sandhills Thedford is making sure that they are all over number 8 as he lines up as an end on the line of scrimmage right now.
He is eligible. We'll hand it off, though, and making it through the hole and getting wrapped up and driven back quickly, as that was Reese coming onto the near side. And that'll bring up third and long now. Third and maybe 9, if not 10. 3rd and 10 for Pleasanton as they are on the Sandhills Thedford 13-yard line.
Boy, great tackle by Wild, too, of Sandhills Thedford, number 31, the senior, 200 pounds, came up, made a big-time hit.
Pleasanton offense looking to the sideline for the play, also waiting for the clock to wind down as it'll tick under 10 seconds, and that will take us to the second quarter. Sandhills Thedford leading 20-0. We'll be back with the second quarter here on KBVN and streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Security First Bank of Thedford combines modern banking innovation with that trusted hometown service to ensure every visit there is a good one. They enjoy helping the families, businesses, and ranches of the area reach their financial goals. The Security First Bank is also an avid supporter of high school activities and glad to sponsor this broadcast. Enjoy the game, sponsored in part by the Security First Bank of Thedford. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bubba's Smoke Shack in Pleasanton. Wood-smoked barbecue, mouth-watering brisket, award-winning barbecue sauce. You get the idea. Whether your event is big or small, they cover them all. Call Bubba's at 308-440-3680. Don't forget to include Bubba's famous beans. They're proud to say that homemade is all they do, and the word reheated is not in their vocabulary. Bubba's Smoke Shack of Pleasanton. Give them a call for your next event. 308-440-3680.
BD would love for you to be a part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember bd.com/careers to start your journey to being a part of their great team.
Second quarter underway here in Pleasanton. We'll flip the field. Pleasanton will now work from right to left for those of you listening on the radio. Martinson back to pass, looking on the far side. There's no doubt who they're going to go to. Ball is up in the air, and then a flag will come in as Westland was the would-be receiver. Threw it into triple coverage, but I believe he's going to get the call, and I have a feeling Coach Dynas probably is not going to agree with that.
Well, he will draw a crowd, won't he?
No doubt.
There were 3 defensive players all around him, and early contact was made as Westland was trying to come back and make the catch. So the pass interference will go against Sandhills Thedford. And again, you look at what Pleasanton's doing right now, Gavin. I mean, listen, this all got set up because of the kick return by Wendt. That was a huge play in this game, and now Pleasanton has an opportunity maybe to kind of fight their way back into this thing, trailing 20-0.
So it will be pass interference, of course, called against Sandhills Thedford.
By the way, Gavin, we do have a score update. Of course, on the other side of the bracket, you got Fall City Sacred Heart against Osceola. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game in the semifinals next Friday. At the end of the first quarter, Fall City Sacred Heart leads 8-6.
And we'll have a timeout as Pleasanton will take their second of the half. We'll take one as well. Sandhills Thedford 20, Pleasanton 0.
Sandhills Motors, they offer warranty forever. It's exactly what it sounds like. No cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, and no deductible. It's powertrain coverage you can get on qualifying new and pre-owned vehicles with less than 100,000 miles. If you need a truck bed, they are now CM truck bed dealers too. Gateway Motors in Broken Bow and Sandhills Motors in Arnold, home of warranty forever. Ask them about it today.
At First State Insurance of Arnold, their independent agents can offer their customers choices that can save you money. They're so excited for these young athletes and are happy to see them continue to play hard. Call Becky or Pat at 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First State Insurance of Arnold. Proud to support their local athletes by sponsoring this broadcast.
20-0 here as we've only played 8 seconds of the second quarter. Pleasanton took their second timeout and now looking at third and about 3. in the shotgun, taking the snap as went. Ball's on the ground, and that's just not what you want to see if you're the Pleasanton offense. A big loss on the play. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, you know, when we came on the air and before the kickoff, we said ball security. Pleasanton has fumbled the ball once, which set up Sandhills Thedford inside the 10. They would score, and now here's Pleasanton, a great opportunity to score and get on the board, and then you have a bad snap that you have to cover, and it turns into a loss. So tough break for Pleasanton. We'll see if they can recover from it as they look at 4th down.
Most likely going to see the ball through the air, and I'm guessing a big old star is going to go right on the back of Westland. Split out to the near side, clock winding down, and they will not get it off in time. And another shot in the foot for Pleasanton, and that'll back them up 5 more yards on the delay of game.
Man, that's tough.
Late substitutions for Pleasanton really killed them on that one. Martinson came in late, and then they had to bring in another lineman as well. And they ran up to the line as fast as they could, but they just were not quick enough. Now, 4th and 10. From just outside of the 15-yard line. They have to get down inside the 4. We'll have split to the far side, one to the near side. Martinson in shotgun. To his left is Reese, looking to pass and getting hit right as he threw it away. Ball is up in the air, making the catch, and getting hit is Went. He will not pick up the 1st down, and Sandhills Thedford will take over on the turnover on downs. The defense holds by a yard.
Yeah, good effort by Pleasanton. Good throw by Martinson. But then just good, solid defense on the back end by Sandhills Thedford. You kind of knew, they knew where that marker was, right? And they kind of forced Went ahead of it to make the catch. And then when he did make the catch, Sandhills Thedford was right there to bring him down short of the marker.
A great start for Pleasanton on that drive. Ends in 0 points. And now you have to turn the ball over to an offense who has been able to move up and down the field. Ahlstrom will go under center as they'll run the option, and Zudevern will keep a hold of it. He'll pick up a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for Sandhills Thedford. Ahlstrom looked like he wanted to pull it initially, but ended up just leaving it in the belly of Zudevern, who just leans forward and able to pick up that 1 yard. Really haven't done a whole lot besides run between the tackles and a couple of passes thrown to the outside, which have been open, as Sandhills Thedford was able to punch one of those into the end zone. I formation. Ahlstrom will take the snap under center. They'll hand it off to Picorni on the far side, and that'll be a good gang tackle, but he still is able to get back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. Nonetheless, 3rd down and long as Pleasanton defense holding here.
Well, here you go. Here's an opportunity for Pleasanton. 2 good, strong defensive plays. Sandhills Thedford looking at 3rd down and 9. And now if you're the Knights, you're questioning, all right, do we go to the air here? Or do we try to play it safe deep in our own territory and hand it off? Looks like they're going to spread them out.
They will spread it out. 3 down linemen. Ahlstrom in shotgun. He'll take the shotgun snap, looking to pass, throwing it to Zudevern on the far side. He's got space. He'll make the catch. And that, will they give it to him? Yeah. They will, and that's a big catch for Sandhills Thedford's Reese Zudevern. Great pickup on a great throw.
Oh, beautiful throw. But then the adjustment of Zudevern to come back on the catch. My goodness. Again, Ahlstrom had Zudevern streaking down the far sideline, just man-on-man coverage. Zudevern was able to read the ball in the air, came back, made a tremendous play right on the sideline. So the concentration to catch the ball and then keep a foot in to make the catch. Great play by Zudevern and a huge pickup for Sandhills Thedford.
That gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone as Zudevern will split out to the near side in the X position. They'll fake the toss to Picorni, looking to pass right in the middle, throws it over the top of the head of, I believe that was McIntosh. It was. The ball was too high and will fall incomplete, bring up 2nd and 10.
2nd down.
By the way, I know you're having me keep statistics here. Can I go ahead and say when we look at these at halftime, they'll be unofficial?
Yes, I think we can. I think when any of us keep stats, it's unofficial.
I think they're kind of close, though.
Yeah. They do have the hash marks here in Pleasanton. There'll be a misdirection to Picorni. Skips through one attempted tackle, leans forward, and able to pick up about 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 for Sandhills Thedford. A long 4, a short 3 for the Knights.
Good tackle by Went. It was just a man-on-man situation, and he was able to bring Picorni down, and as we know, that ain't easy to do one-on-one. Unofficially, Picorni, we've got him 12 carries, 76 yards at this time.
Just a guy who, when he gets hit, almost never is it backwards. I formation, taking the snap, handing it off to Picorni. Gets hit in the hole. He leans forward. It'll be close to a first down. I believe he will be short by about a yard.
That won't be much.
The far side official marked him short, and it looks like maybe less than a yard. It'll be 4th and short, and I think this might be the easiest call in Coach Josh Dynas' career to go for it.
And who do you think will get the ball?
I'm going to say Zudevern just to throw everyone off. We're going to see what happens. They often will run kind of a misdirection to Zudevern as people focus on Picorni. They go in I formation. Stacking the box is Pleasanton, and it makes 0 difference. He breaks through another tackle to the 30, 25, skips through a man, 20, 15, 10, 5, diving for the end zone. He'll be short at the 1-yard line. Brent Apperson, you should go ahead and jump in on the lottery because Picorni was hit in the hole initially, breaks free, picks up the first down, and now is about a football length away from adding 6 more points to their total.
And that 35-yard total take him over 100 for the game already. Boy, again, and we talked about it, right? I mean, we knew this was a key to the game. Can you bring him down on the initial contact? And Picorni was stacked up at the line of scrimmage and then broke away for a big one.
Picorni will fight to the middle, and then that will be a touchdown. However, a flag comes in from the backfield, kind of in the area of holding. So we'll see what happens here. And it will be holding against Sandhills Thedford. And a note on your going over 100 yards, Picorni has had 8 100-yard games this season. That makes number 9. They are playing their 11th game. If you can do the math, it's a lot of yards. There's a reason why he has over 1,500. The holdback, Sandhills Thedford up outside of the Pleasanton 10-yard line. Still first down for the Knights. I formation, Alstrom under center. He'll fake the handoff, looking to the near side, looking for McIntosh and making a dive, but it falls incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd down for the Knights.
2nd and goal.
Had him open briefly, just wasn't able to quite get it there was Alstrom.
Well, Alstrom has 2 completions in the game. They both went to Reese Zudevern. And one of them was on this drive, a big play that came on a 3rd and 9 to keep the drive going.
They'll split Zudevern out just to the right side of the near side end. They'll hand it off to Picorni. He is trying to find a hole, and he will lean forward and get back to the line of scrimmage, but that is it, and bring up 3rd down.
Well, on that play, you saw why Westland's going to Wyoming. That was a tremendous defensive play. Able to fight off the block, get in, make the tackle, bring down the ball carrier, and now Sandhills Thedford looking at 3rd down. Remember, they had it 1st down and goal at the 1, and then that penalty backed them up. So here's a chance now for Pleasanton's defense maybe to come up with a stop.
Westland doing a really good job on Picorni, tackling him low, not allowing that big physical body to get through. Looking to pass as Alstrom steps back, throwing it to McIntosh on the far side corner. Touchdown, Sandhills Thedford. That connection has been there all season long, and the Knights pay it off with 6 more points. 6:21 left here in the first half. Sandhills Thedford 26, Pleasanton nothing.
Well, there you go. That is what is making this team even more dangerous than maybe they were. You look at their ground game, Gavin, it's as good as anybody's in the state probably. But when you can complement it now with throws like that from Alstrom to McIntosh, 2nd touchdown pass for Alstrom tonight. boy, that just makes this offense almost impossible to stop.
Calm, cool, and collected right now is Sandhills Thedford, and we will have a penalty, as it will be a false start called against Sandhills Thedford. I believe they will tag Reed McFadden on that one, as McFadden kind of walked away and clapped his hands in frustration. Penalty is always a big drive killer, but right now Sandhills Thedford hasn't let it stop them. The question will be, are they able to punch this in? They've struggled with PATs. Looking to pass this Ahlstrom, goes near side to Zudevern, and right as I say that, Zudevern punches it into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good for the Knights. They're up 28-0, 6:21 remaining here in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout.
Kyle and Carrie Hakey are cheering on the Sandhills Thedford Knights. They are very proud of the hard work the team has shown on and off the field this season. To balance school and sports can be difficult, but this team has done it with flying colors. Congratulations, Knights, on all of your successes. Saying go Knights, Kyle and Carrie Hakey.
Sandhills Thedford is cruising right now in the first half, as their offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Even when they are backed up against the wall, they have found a way and lead 28-0. Gugemus puts his foot into it. High kick. Went will take it at the 12-yard line. Looking for a hole. Goes right to the middle. Finds a seam. Knocked down at, we'll see where they knock him down at. They will mark him at the 34-yard line, which is where Pleasanton will take over.
Well, you look at what Pleasanton has done offensively tonight. First 2 times they touched it, they had to punt. Third time they touched it, they fumbled. Sandhills Thedford recovered inside the 10 and then scored. And then their best drive was the last one. They had a great scoring opportunity, Gavin, but a penalty really hurt. And then they ended up turning it over on downs. So Pleasanton still looking for their first points of the night.
Martinson in shotgun. He'll take the snap, looking to pass. He's got time. Knocked up in the air. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage. It'll fall incomplete. And Drew McIntosh with his hands in the air, able to knock it down. And that is a defensive coach's perfect explanation of what to do when you can't get to the quarterback. Put those big hands in the air and try to get in those passing lanes.
Well, during the season, we've been visiting with Sandhills Thedford head coach Josh Dynas, and he told us that they changed their defense in the offseason. They kind of made some new wrinkles with it, kind of changed the way they run it. And, oh, my goodness, I would say that the changes and the adjustments that they have made have paid off. This defense has just been something all season long.
Pleasanton packs it in tight, overloads the near side. Went has a hole, and he's on the near side. He's to the 30, and he'll be tackled by the shoestrings by Zudevern, and Went's going to come up a little bit gimpy, a little bit slow to stand up, but he was able to get back up and head back to the huddle. A big first down for Pleasanton. Went able to take it out of the shotgun to the near side.
Yeah, great run by Went. And a good play, too, by Zudevern. I really thought that had a chance maybe to break it to the end zone for Went, but Zudevern able to chase him down, and Pleasanton now looks at 1st and 10 at the 25 of Sandhills Thedford. And you get the feel, don't you, Gavin, for Pleasanton, they have to get points on this drive if they want to try to hang in it.
Just over 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Went will take the shotgun snap, and he'll be wrapped up and thrown down. That'll be a loss of maybe 1. Maybe a little less than 1, but it'll bring up 2nd down for Pleasanton. And the hole that was there briefly closed in a hurry.
Yeah, Picorni and McIntosh. Wow. Just as you said, closed the hole quickly right there to make the tackle. And again, you know, as you mentioned, this is the first time I've been able to see either team. And I've heard about the physicality of Sandhills Thedford. Boy, until you see it in person, you just don't realize how physical they really are.
Back in shotgun, looking to pass is Martinson. He's sacked. And almost immediately, he had to take 3 steps back, and by the time he got to that 3rd step, the defense was on top of him. McIntosh in there as well as Furrow just throws him back, and that brings up 3rd and a mile for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Reed McFadden too. My goodness. just no chance for Martinson on that play.
The one thing that really can wear on an offense is just the ability and physicality of Sandhills Thedford's defense. You know, you can stick with them for about a half, but they just have that ability to wear you down so quickly.
Well, in 10 games, they've given up 119 points total.
Martinson looking to pass, looking on the far side of the field. He's going to throw it in double coverage right at Pokorny. He'll knock it away, and it's incomplete. Good job by Pokorny playing the ball. That's a tough ask to go against Westland, but he plays it perfectly.
Yeah, he did play it perfectly and just went up and knocked the ball away, and now Pleasanton looks at 4th down and long.
Interesting situation here for Pleasanton. You expect them to punt, as it looked like that Kingston came back into the game, and they will line up at what appears to be a punt anyway. Now, we've seen teams, of course, fake it throughout the season. We'll see what happens here. Kingston will take the snap, and he will punt it away, as Zudevern will let this one go over his head and into the end zone for a touchback. So Sandhills Thedford will take over at their 15-yard line, and this is almost a mirror of the type of defense we saw last week, where they might give up a big play here or two, but that defense stands strong and is right there waiting for that next play, and it was all negative after that big play.
Yeah, it was. And, again, we get so wrapped up, I think, in offensive numbers, and you look at how many points a team is scoring. But I know the one thing to me that has been most impressive at looking at the numbers this team has put up is what they've done defensively. I mean, in the 8-man game to be giving up less than 12 points a game, that is incredibly impressive. And they have given up the fewest points of any team in Class D2 up to this point.
Zudevern, or correction, I think that's Scranton. It is Scranton who takes the snap, or takes the handoff, from Ahlstrom. He'll pick up about 1 on the play. Scranton coming into the game as the halfback. Scranton has some speed. We've seen him later in games earlier in the season where he's come in and broke free. Able to outrun quite a few players. Also a very physical player in the secondary on the defensive side of the ball for Sandhills Thedford. Scranton will be in the backfield, as I believe Pokorny is now sitting as the halfback. They will hand it off to Scranton. He's finding a hole on the far side. He's to the 21-yard line, and he'll be driven down at about the 22. That'll bring up 3rd down and short for Sandhills Thedford. Heck of a lead blocker to have Pokorny out in front of you.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy to get behind.
Seth Scranton, a 160-pound junior, will stay in the game. Zudevern taking a breather on the sideline. Had a big game defensively, allowing Scranton some time here in the first half. Scranton will take another one. He'll bounce to the outside. Would-be tackler is going to get him as he will be knocked down, but we'll have a penalty flag thrown as this one is going to come back against Sandhills Thedford. Able to pick up the 1st down with Scranton, but I believe this will be all for nothing, as it will be a holding. Something Coach Dynas did not want to see is a lot of penalties, especially late in the season. Really trying to clean those up, because when it comes down to the end of the game, if it's still close, those can sometimes be a big factor.
Well, this now is a must defensively for Pleasanton on this 3rd and long situation. You get a stop here, you're going to get the ball back, probably in pretty good field position with some time to work with before the half.
Ahlstrom under center, he'll look to pass. Trying to find anyone. Throws it over the middle of the field. Wide open and making the catch. Great catch by Matt Daly on the far side of the field. And just like that, Sandhills Thedford picks up the 1st down and is nearly into Pleasanton territory.
Boy, really impressed with the way Ahlstrom has thrown the ball. But, Gavin, we have to say something about the Sandhills Thedford offensive line. I mean, he had plenty of time to let his receivers get out into the route, had plenty of time to set his feet and deliver a beautiful pass.
He has had all day in the backfield to throw the ball. He'll go under center now, hand it off to Scranton. He's trying to find a seam on the near side. He'll be thrown down. Good defensive play there as Pates was in on the tackle and drives him back. He does get back to the back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 for Sandhills Thedford as we head toward 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Sandhills Thedford more than happy to let that clock wind down as Ahlstrom continues his conversation with Coach Dynas before coming back into the huddle. Under 2 minutes here in the first half. Play clock winding down. Now to 5 seconds. Sandhills Thedford needing to hustle a little bit more. Ahlstrom will get the snap. He'll hand it off to Scranton on the far side, looking for a hole. He's to the 30, 25, 20, racing to the corner. He will score. Touchdown, Sandhills Thedford. 42-yard touchdown run from Seth Scranton, and the lead extends as Sandhills Thedford able to punch it into the end zone. Now up 34-0.
Great lead block, Dane Picorni, huh? He led the way, and then you saw the speed of Scranton. And there again, Gavin, another facet of this offense. You go with the power with Picorni, Zutevern in front of him, and then you move Picorni to the fullback, and you got the speed of Scranton.
Speaking of Scranton, he's going to fight his way to the goal line, but I do not believe he will get there. He will not, as the two-point conversion is no good. Now 34-0. We'll keep it here as the first half begins to wind to a close. And you said it, this offense is just so versatile. When you come to Class D2, sometimes you'll see maybe a one-sided offense where they only throw the ball, only pass, or only run the ball. Sandhills Thedford has shown teams that they can do whatever they want.
Well, and one thing that I've seen too, Gavin, in this first half, you see a focused football team, don't you? I mean, you think back to last year. This was a team that went undefeated in the regular season, but then got bounced in the first round. I guarantee you that didn't set well with this group during the entire offseason, and you can see it tonight, and you've seen it all season long. This is a focused, dialed-in football team, and, boy, they have just really looked good in this opening half.
Seems like when they walked onto the field, sometimes you can see some nervousness, some tense maybe moments. They look relaxed, and like you said, Brent, they are 100% focused. They have an end goal to get to Lincoln, but they've got a couple more rounds to go if they're able to finish off this one here, as Sandhills Thedford, Braden Gugamus will kick it away. It is going to be a slightly shorter kick, and taking it at the 2-yard line is Wendt. He's up to the 15-yard line. He dodges a tackler, able to get past to the 20, 25, 30, 35. He'll be knocked out of bounds. Gugamus, he might be only 115 pounds, but he has made some really great touchdown-saving tackles here in this one, but not before Wendt is able to get it all the way up to the 37-yard line of Sandhills Thedford.
Well, yeah, you said it. I mean, he saved 2 touchdowns. I mean, Wendt had another big return that if Gugamus doesn't bring him down earlier, he scores on the return. And there's another one. I mean, if Gugamus doesn't get him and Wendt is able to stay on the sideline, maybe he scores. So 2 big plays by Gugamus, and Pleasanton's got to bring the offense out onto the field.
Martinson and shotgun looking to pass. It'll be a screen, looking right over the top of the middle, and Wendt was wide open with blockers.
Oh, man, did they have that set up.
Yeah. And we're going to have a penalty, I believe, is going to get called against McIntosh for roughing the passer, as there's a flag right at the feet of where Martinson got hit.
Sandhills Thedford was sending him. Pleasanton had the perfect play set up, but just not able to complete the play. However, they will get the penalty against Sandhills Thedford, and that will create a first down.
Right now, that has been about the only Achilles heel for Sandhills Thedford has been the penalties. Offensively, haven't really let it affect them. Defensively, they've been lucky that Pleasanton hasn't been able to capitalize quite yet. 15-yard penalty will move it up to the 24-yard line. 1:21 remaining here in the first half. Martinson in shotgun. Receiver split out to the far and near side. He'll roll back to pass. Looking anywhere, looks downfield as that'll be well behind the attempted, or the would-be receiver, Westland, as I think Martinson felt the pressure and just had to get rid of it, and that time threw it to where Westland was and not where he was going to be.
Yeah, Brannick was getting a push, and Andrew Furrow, the sophomore, was giving pressure too to help force the incompletion.
Wind is in favor of Pleasanton. It's at their backs as they move from right to left. Receivers split out to the far side. Westland will be the star on his back, and on the screenplay coming across the middle. As taking the pass as went, he's able to get close to the first down. They will mark him short by about half a length of the football. That'll bring up 3rd down for Pleasanton. Good pass there on the wide receiver screen.
Yeah, and Martinson's done a good job for Pleasanton. I think it has kind of given him a lift with the passing game that he's brought to the table.
Martinson will pass it out the far side to Wendt. Getting a good block, fighting him. He'll get the first down, get up to the 10-yard line before being driven back. 43 seconds as they'll stop the clock to mark the ball.
10-yard line, 1st down and 10 before the ball.
1st and 10 as they will mark it right at the 10, so probably close to that goal line as the clock will wind under 40 seconds. Martinson in shotgun. He'll take the snap, steps back, feeling some pressure, coming after him. There'll be a holding call as a great pass. He's able to get it down the field to Kingston, but it's going to be all for nothing as that one's going to come back on the holding play, on the holding call. It'll be a pickup of 5 if it does go against Sandhills Thedford, which of course is entirely possible. The lengthy discussion makes me think it might be against Sandhills Thedford.
Well, nobody's moving backwards yet.
The officials haven't even moved, as it will be illegal contact called against Sandhills Thedford, usually on the end coming across, making that contact, as that'll bring up, it was a pickup of 5 on the play.
I think you would take the penalty and then save the down.
I would agree with you, as it looks like, well, they are going to mark it off, so they will take the penalty. And like Brent said, they'll keep that 1st down. So it'll be 1st down from the 5-yard line.
Against the Knights. Half the distance to the goal.
Martinson in shotgun, as they'll have an official's timeout as the down markers were laid down. Still having a discussion, as it was close to 1st and goal. I think they were about half a yard from being in the end zone with the 1st down. They'll get the sticks marked back up. 1st down and 5 for Pleasanton. Under 30 seconds. Clock winds. Martinson looking to pass. It'll go into the ground as it's knocked down off of the hands of McIntosh.
Yeah, it was good pressure by McIntosh again, and I'm not sure that, not so sure that he didn't deflect that just a little bit.
In the passing lane, McIntosh has been for much of this game. 2nd down and 5 for Pleasanton. 25 seconds left here in the 1st half. They're trying to punch it in. Martinson back to pass. He'll look to the far side. He'll be right up to on a jump ball, and knocking it away is Pokorny. He and Zudavern were right there as they double-teamed Westland coming over across into the middle. And that'll bring up 3rd down for Pleasanton.
Yeah, good defense again by Sandhills Thedford. Every time number 8 goes out in a passing route, there's about 2 guys going with him. And that time Pokorny was able to jump up and knock it down again.
Through the passing game, it feels like Coach Dynas says anyone else can beat us except for him. 3rd down and 5 for Pleasanton. In the shotgun, looking to pass. He'll step back, stepping into the pocket, throwing it across the middle, and then it will be incomplete as the hit came in at the very end. Trying to hook up with Kingston was Martinson, but the hit at the very end jarred the ball loose, knocks it incomplete. Great defense.
And I think that's where the incompletion came from. Kingston had it, but then the ball was ripped out, and the official saying the catch was not completed, so therefore incomplete. And now Pleasanton looks at 4th down.
Receivers split far and near side and facing some pressure and getting sacked. And that is how a defense steps up big with 11 seconds left here in the 1st half. A sack is how that drive comes to an end, and Pleasanton was looking so good up to that point.
Yeah, Brannick again getting a push, Andrew Furrow. Boy, again, getting into the backfield, making the hit, and the Sandhills Thedford defense turns Pleasanton away. You know, the Bulldogs have had a couple of scoring opportunities deep in Sandhills Thedford territory, but have not been able to cash in.
Sandhills Thedford will snap the ball most likely one final time here in the first half. I'll hand it off, correction, as Ahlstrom will scramble out of the pocket, looking on the far side to run. He'll run into the Pleasanton defense, and that is how the first half will come to an end. Sandhills Thedford leading 34-0 here at halftime over Pleasanton. We'll take a timeout and take a look at some halftime stats after these words from our sponsors.
Midwest Partitions Incorporated in Thedford would like to take this opportunity to salute all of the student athletes in the area for working hard to prepare for every game of the season. Through all the hard work and determination you show, you're setting a foundation for a successful future after high school. Good work and play hard from Midwest Partitions, delivering expertise, efficiency, and execution. Midwest Partitions Incorporated in Thedford.
Ewald's Grocery is your local community connection for high-quality foods, friendly service, and great prices. Everyone at Ewald's Grocery takes pride in their community, and they appreciate your business. With over 80 years of business, they're honored and privileged to serve the local community. They're big supporters of the Sandhills Thedford Knights and love every opportunity they get to cheer on their hard work and dedication. Ewald's Grocery in Thedford, sponsors of this sports broadcast.
This high school sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Harsh Mercantile, proud supporters of the Sandhills Thedford Knights. Academics and athletics alike benefit these students, and Harsh Mercantile is proud of the kids, coaches, teachers, and parents. Stop by Harsh Mercantile in Purdom today and talk to them about your operation. Enjoy the broadcast brought to you by Knight supporters, Harsh Mercantile.
Superior Livestock Auction in Thedford is proud to be a sponsor of this sports broadcast. View their video cattle sales online, superiorlivestock.com. For more information about the sales, contact Lemoyne Daily at 402-760-2727. He'd be happy to help you with any questions you may have. Superior Livestock Auction in Thedford, 402-760-2727, and superiorlivestock.com. Proud to support the Sandhills Thedford Knights and this broadcast.
Make the Sandhills Corral in Thedford a destination for awesome food and great times. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 2 and 5 until 10, and feature daily specials as well as Mexican Mondays, wing night Thursday, and smoked prime rib on Fridays. Call ahead and check on specials at 645-2323. That's 645-2323 for the Sandhills Corral in Thedford, a community-minded restaurant with a home-cooked feel, because there's nothing better than a great meal and being treated like family. Check them out on Facebook, too. The Sandhills Corral, where it tastes like home and you feel like a neighbor.
The staff and administrators at Sandhills Public Schools are so proud of what this team has accomplished this season. They love backing the Knights. They get to see firsthand the hard work all their students put into their extracurricular activities all year long. No matter what activity or passion, Sandhills Thedford students set their goals high, and they're cheering them on every step of the way, saying, "Go Knights, Sandhills Public Schools."
Well, it's been all Sandhills Thedford here in the first half as they lead 34-0 here at halftime, and just the powerful defense of the Knights, as well as the very balanced offense, has been very effective for Sandhills Thedford. And right now, Brent, they are just on a roll. And here's a look at some of the drive chart stats and just some stats in general.
Yeah, we'll look at some of the stats here in a moment, but we'll kind of give you a recap of the scoring in case you're just joining us. Sandhills Thedford, they've scored every time they've had the ball except at the very end when halftime came upon them. Opening drive, it went 46 yards. See, there I go on that 100-yard field thing again. It goes 46 yards for a touchdown scoring drive, capped off on the 4-yard touchdown run by Dane Picorni to make it 6-0. And then Sandhills Thedford would take over on the Pleasanton 35-yard line, put a drive together, and it was capped off on a 13-yard touchdown pass from Grant Alstrom to Reese Zudevern. 2-point conversion was good, and with 4:05 left to go in the opening quarter, Sandhills Thedford led 14-0. And then after a Pleasanton turnover, Sandhills Thedford takes over inside the Pleasanton 10. 5-yard touchdown run for Dane Picorni. 2-point try was no good. 20-0 the score with 2:07 to go in the first quarter. Then probably the best drive of the night put together by Sandhills Thedford took over at their own 6-yard line, marched the distance. The drive was capped off on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Grant Alstrom to Drew McIntosh, and with 6:21 to go in the first half, it was 28-0. And then late in the half, Seth Scranton would get loose, a 42-yard touchdown run to make the score 34-0, which is where we stand at the half. Pleasanton, Gavin, had a couple of drives that got inside the Sandhills Thedford 20, even inside the 10, but a penalty here and there, a big defensive sack by Sandhills Thedford on one of the possessions kept the Bulldogs out of the end zone.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of opportunities, but right now it's just been a bend, don't break defense for Sandhills Thedford, and it has been impressive thus far. They lead here at halftime, 34-0. Sandhills Thedford, the 5 seed, up big on the 11 seed Pleasanton Bulldogs. We'll take another timeout, and when we come back, we'll have a look at some halftime stats for you. Of course, unofficial. But we'll be back after this.
Evans Feed Company helps to bring you this sporting event in appreciation of their many great customers. They've been providing quality feeds to Central Nebraska with prices, products, and services unmatched. They deliver bulk and bagged feed all over the area and take pride in serving Nebraska's top-notch ag producers on a daily basis. They are Central Nebraska's feed superstore. Proud to support local sports programs. Evans Feed Company, 872-2119.
Since 1917, Nebraska State Bank has been helping Custer County and its neighbors progress with innovative products and superior service. And they are here with you, helping you achieve your goals, reinvesting in our area by involvement, leadership, and donation as a means to help others strive and succeed and to further invest in our communities. With all of their locations here in Custer County, Nebraska State Bank is proud to serve you in Callaway, Myrna, and 2 locations in Broken Bow, and online anywhere all the time at nesb.bank. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
If you're having a party or celebration, you need food and drink for your guests. Come and see us at the grocery cart. We're ready to help at the deli and the GK Wine and Spirits. In the deli, you can't beat delicious Chester's chicken or order a meat and cheese tray. You can't beat the convenience of a smoked rack of pork ribs either. Then stop by the GK Wine and Spirits for savings on your favorite beers, wines, or spirits. For any get-together, stop at the deli and the GK Wine and Spirits shop inside the grocery cart in Broken Bow.
At Trotter Service, every oil change comes with a multi-point inspection. As a Tire Pro store, they bring customers only the best brands of wheels and tires at the best prices anywhere, and have computer balancing and alignment too. They service semis and provide bulk fuel and propane delivery as well. At Trotter Service, your hometown automotive repair and tire store.
Friendly service every time. Quality is what you'll find where your neighbors and your friends go see Trotter.
Custer Federal State Bank has been a home lender since their inception in 1925. They continue their commitment to this day, offering conventional loans, first-time homebuyer loans with grant funds available for down payment assistance, construction loans, and home equity loans. Remember, unlike many traditional lenders, they utilize secondary market funding to offer long-term fixed interest rates in all markets, including ag, commercial, business, and home. Custer Federal State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans are subject to credit approval. One thing we definitely desire perfection on is our vehicles. You want something that gets you to where you're going comfortably while looking great. Whether storm damage, deer damage, or insurance claim, take your ride to Rod's Body and Paint Broken Bow. They're the collision specialist. You should call 308-872-5346. Offering over 42 years of experience, they'll get you back on the road quickly without sacrificing quality. From dings and dents to full replacement and auto glass repair. Rod's Body and Paint, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
The changing seasons are generally welcomed with open arms, but not in our homes. With the help of Mead Lumber, you can keep the chilly air where it belongs. Upgrading your home's insulation not only conserves energy and lowers your heating and cooling costs, it makes for better living with improved air quality, health, and warmth. Work with those who have pride in a highly trained team to help with your building and projects. The crew at Mead Lumber. Also, be sure to visit meadlumber.com soon.
Sandhills Thedford leading 34-0 here at halftime, and the offense has been clicking for the Knights. And Brent, you have some unofficial stats you would like to pass along to everyone.
Thank you for emphasizing the unofficial part, Gavin. Appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
I'll do my best here. I think these are fairly close, so it at least gives you an idea as to what's been going on. For Pleasanton, unofficially, 23 rushing yards, 55 passing yards. Kobe Martinson, I thought, did a great job coming in off the bench and kind of going to that passing game for Pleasanton later in the first half. We had him finishing 4 for 9 in the first half for 55 yards. All of those receiving yards went to Trevin Went. He had all the completions for Pleasanton in the first half. Went also had 31 rushing yards to lead the Bulldogs in half number 1. For Sandhills Thedford, unofficially, 168 yards rushing, 77 yards through the air. Dane Picorni had 8 carries. Now that ain't right. Hang on. Let me get my other sheet. What did you say? These are what again?
Extremely official and 100% correct.
Yeah. Shh. Dane Picorni, 15 carries, 114 yards. That sounds better. 2 carries, 5 yards for Reese Zudevern, and then Seth Scranton had that big 42-yard touchdown run, had him finishing with 4 carries for 49 yards in the first half. Sandhills Thedford also made some things happen in the passing game. Couple of touchdown passes for Grant Ahlstrom in the first half, went 4 for 8 for 77 yards. 2 catches by Reese Zudevern for 43. Drew McIntosh with a catch for 9 yards. That was also a touchdown. And then a big pass to Matt Daly in the first half, too, for 25 yards. So those are your unofficial first half stats.
I think one of the most impressive things for me, at least through this first half.
Other than my stat keeping?
Other than your stat keeping.
Okay.
I mean, understand everyone, he's doing double duty here. He's doing drive chart and stats. So he's a busy man. But other than that, the defense for Sandhills Thedford have really swarmed around Tice Westland. No catches. They've tried to go at him, but he's been double covered, triple covered. They are allowing Pleasanton really to throw it underneath to Went kind of whenever they really want. But right now that defense is really focused on Westland, and for good reason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, very talented player, and like you said, when he goes out in a pass route, Sandhills Thedford knows where he's at, and there's about 2, if not 3, green and white jerseys around him. I know that people are very interested in the score of the Fall City Sacred Heart and Osceola game. We are told now that they are at halftime. Osceola has the lead, 28-14 over Fall City Sacred Heart in that other quarterfinal. Now, the one thing we do know, should Sandhills Thedford win tonight, Sandhills Thedford, because they're on the road tonight, would host Fall City Sacred Heart if they win, because Fall City Sacred Heart, even though they're the higher seed, is playing at home tonight. And if Osceola wins and Sandhills Thedford wins, Sandhills Thedford still hosts, because with both teams on the road, you go to the higher seeded team, which would be Sandhills Thedford. So the Knights know if they can finish this off in the second half, they will host the state semifinal no matter what.
Big moments upcoming here in the second half. Sandhills Thedford trying to close the door on Pleasanton's season and advance to the semifinals. Pleasanton, they're not done yet. They can score in a hurry, and we'll be back with the second half right after this.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield, we're your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Shelter Insurance's auto rates are falling. See Agent Brent Custer for details. Did you know that A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping has an awesome 5-step fertilizer program? Anytime is a good time to hop into the plan and get your lawn nice and healthy, including right now in the fall. The control of weeds, strengthening of grass, and insecticide are all benefits. All 5 applications are strategically scheduled so you can do the most good for your lawn possible. Talk to them at A to Z Lawn Pro about the transition into the fertilizer program and how easy it is to have your lawn looking amazing.
Septic emergencies are right up there on the list of worst emergencies to have.
Absolutely.
The next time you're facing one, give Squires Septic Service a call. 870-0717. He's ready to take your call 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
His sewer camera can find problems fast to save you money. Plus, he can clear drains with Roto-Rooter or Jetter. Oh, and Gary has Porta units, too. Squires Septic Service of Myrna. 870-0717. Don't wait to call until it's too late.
Absolutely not.
Been scouting for that trophy buck? AeroSeed has game cameras to do the job for you. Moultrie's white flash trail cameras are the perfect scouting tool for hunters and wildlife watchers. There's one for every need and budget. With 30 years of experience, Moultrie is known for its products that are reliable, durable, top performing, and affordable. Also available at AeroSeed are supplements and gravity feeders to promote health and antler growth. Stop into AeroSeed in Broken Bow to learn more about game cameras and supplements to enhance your wildlife experiences.
Are you having a hard time getting moving after your surgery? Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. If you have recently undergone surgery to your knee, hip, shoulder, back, or wrist, or having trouble doing the things you love, call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. With our highly trained staff in orthopedic rehabilitation, we are committed to getting you moving again. Call us at any of our locations close to you or check us out at myteampt.com. 872-5111.
Friendly rivals, hometown pride, wearing your school's colors. Small towns are brought together cheering on their favorite teams. Agland ATV knows how hard the athletes and coaches work year-round and are proud to help sponsor the games of our customers and their kids and grandkids. We have built relationships with many of these families through the years and are proud of their success. Best of luck to all the local athletes from Agland ATV in Broken Bow.
872-3424.
Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow. 872-3424.
Sandhills Thedford up 34-0 here as we approach the end of halftime. Lots of great sponsors making this possible. Of course, we have a bunch that we've had the opportunity to go through, as you have heard over the airwaves, and of course through all of our streaming platforms. Also, one of the sponsors making this possible, 4 County Heating and Air. Owners Brian Hogg and Austin Cox serve the area with a combined 20 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They provide free estimates and 24-hour service. Make sure your heater is ready for the cold weather coming, and I say on the way because it is currently gorgeous here in Pleasanton. You can call 4 County Heating and Air for any of your HVAC questions in Broken Bow, 872-2258. Sandhills Thedford offense and defense extremely balanced and very talented as things are rolling for the Knights here in the first half. Of course, still one half to play. And as a reminder, we'll take a quick look at the other side of the bracket, as I have some papers I need to shift around here. Of course, you heard the Fall City Sacred Heart Osceola score. The winner of that game is on the road regardless. And now on the other side of the bracket, don't have any scores currently, but Central Valley and St. Mary's are facing off in that quarterfinal. Central Valley is the host on that side. And then Kennesaw and BDS, it is a rematch from earlier this season, as that is the other quarterfinal here in the Class D2 playoffs. Both teams coming back onto the field. Sandhills Thedford won the toss. They elected to defer, so they will be receiving the ball here in the second half. As Brent, kind of your first half thoughts.
Well, very impressive, certainly on both sides of the ball for Sandhills Thedford, for Pleasanton, again, not being able to take advantage of some opportunities. They had the ball deep into Sandhills Thedford territory a couple of times, not able to punch it in. The Knights defense was able to come up And then we talked about ball security. You know, there was a play in one of those drives where Pleasanton was driving. They had a bad snap. That backed them up. They weren't able to score. And then they also fumbled the ball inside the 10 that Sandhills Thedford recovered and then took the short field and scored. So, Sandhills Thedford just solid on both sides of the ball. For Pleasanton, hey, you just continue to play. You continue to fight. You see what can happen here in the second half. But for Sandhills Thedford, I mean, you get the ball, an opportunity to put more points on the board right out of the chute here in the second half.
Foot into the ball, and Sandhills Thedford will start at their 15-yard line as the kick goes into the end zone. So the offense for Sandhills Thedford trying to extend the lead here in the second half.
Well, we saw Sandhills Thedford do some things through the air, but I don't know. I mean, you're leading 34-0. You have the ball to start the second half. You just get the feel that this might be power formation and run the ball and work the clock on this opening drive. We'll see.
Ahlstrom will go under center. Knights moving from left to right. They'll hand it off to Zudevern, who tried to keep his balance with his left hand, but he stumbles forward, and he'll get knocked down at the 20-yard line. So a pickup of 5 for Sandhills Thedford on their opening play here in the second half.
Yeah, and if Reese doesn't get tripped up, he would have had a lot more than 5.
The backfield for Sandhills Thedford does have some speed. Zudevern definitely more of the halfback type, a little bit shorter and stockier, but he is quick. We've already seen Scranton's speed. And, of course, there's Corney. Enough said. Zudevern will take the handoff. He scrambles forward. Stiff arms his way. He's to the 35-40, 35-30. There's no one left. He's into the end zone. Sandhills Thedford touchdown. 60 yards for Reese Zudevern. Well, I guess the power formation works quite well here in the second half. They go up 40-0.
Well, you know, we talked about it in the pregame. What'd we say? For Pleasanton defensively, you've got to make the tackle on the initial contact. Pleasanton makes the hit after a gain of 2 to 3. Zudevern breaks away, gets the yards after contact, and goes crazy for a 60-yard touchdown run. And just like that, Zudevern, who had 5 yards in the first half, has 70 now after that big run.
They'll pack things in tight as Pokorny will dive to the goal line, and he is in. The 2-point conversion is good, and we have played a whopping 40 seconds or so, just a little bit over 40 seconds here in the second half, and Sandhills Thedford has already put 8 on the board. We'll take a timeout and be back after this.
And Thedford is proud to support area sports. Give them a call to make your reservation today. 308-645-2284. The rooms are sparkling clean, comfortable, and spacious. Plus, they're all decorated to reflect the spirit of the West. Jacuzzi suites, double queen, and king bedrooms are available. The next time you travel, remember the Roadside Inn in Thedford. 308-645-2284. That's the Roadside Inn, proud to support the local youth.
Sandhills Thedford takes their opening drive in the second half and punches it into the end zone. It did not take long. 11-13 left here in the third quarter, and as we have eclipsed the 35-point rule, the clock will roll.
Well, you know, we talked about the focus at halftime, how you can just see that this is a focused group. That drive showed it. I mean, the running of Zudevern showed it. The focus, the way you're dialed in. I mean, boom, just like that, you score in the opening minute of the second half and put more points on the board.
High kick from Gugamus as Went will take it at about the 10-yard line. He's through up to the 30-yard line, fighting through some tackles. They'll knock him down at about the, we'll see, the 36-yard line. Might even give him up to the 37 as Went is a little bit slow getting up. He has had to not only carry the ball, he's had a lot of receptions, and that's a beat-up kid.
He's a tough kid, and I tell you, his kick returns have been probably the bright spot up to this point for Pleasanton because he has really returned the ball well.
The offense has been able to have good field position for the most part throughout this game. Unfortunately, right now, the defense for Sandhills Thedford has just been too strong. Underneath center is Kingston. He'll hand it off on the far side and give it to Wendt, looking for the edge, fighting for the edge. He'll be knocked out of bounds, and Daly coming from his safety position like a man on a mission, and just an absolute missile knocks Wendt out of bounds.
Wow, what a play by Daly. And you see his speed, and again, they're another facet of this team, right? I mean, not just the speed on offense, but the speed overall and the way they pursue defensively. I mean, Wendt, you thought for a moment was going to be able to make the corner, and Daly comes out of nowhere and makes a hit to hold Wendt to no gain.
Kingston will go under center. He'll take the snap, looking to pass right over the middle, and it'll be too high and out of the reach of everyone. Looking for Westland, but even for the 6'5" senior, it was just a little bit too tall. While Westland doesn't have any receptions, his talent is clear and obvious. Great route runner.
Yeah. And I think that in the story I read when he had announced his commitment on Twitter to the University of Wyoming, I think that the story read that they were kind of looking at him on the defensive side of the ball.
He's a big man out there, and those Pleasanton's looking to get their offense going. They'll go near side, is trying to hook up with Westland again, but it's just out of the reach of his outstretched hands, and Kingston just hardly had any time to get it out of there. He was open for a moment, but it was a moment.
And I think that you touched on the big key right there, Gavin. He just didn't have a lot of time. And I don't think Westland really truly completed his route. He had to get rid of it probably earlier than he wanted to, and that was because of the Sandhills Thedford defense.
And even if the pressure wasn't there immediately, just the knowledge that they could be there any second can also force that ball out quick, as Pleasanton will be forced to punt. High snap, able to cover it, and then he'll kick it away. Does Kingston. It goes off the side of his foot as it'll land at the 20 and spin backwards. And that'll be marked down at about the 21, 22-yard line on Sandhills Thedford's side of the field. Facing pressure on that punt was Kingston, but he does get it away in time.
And good job, too, by Daly, who was giving the pressure. No need to go after the punt in that situation and perhaps come up with a roughing penalty.
So they will mark the ball as the clock will roll as we head under 8 minutes. 7:40 actually on the clock right now. Alstrom will go under center. Zudevern and Picorni in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Picorni on the far side. Blows through a tackle and then gets tripped up and knocked down at the 26-yard line. Good probably touchdown saving tackle was Wendt on the far side.
But again, gain of 4, you know. I mean, you look out there and you see Picorni running and you think, oh, that was, a yard or two, and then they put the ball down and like, oh my goodness, he got 4 out of that.
Big pickup there from Picorni as Sandhills Thedford trots to the line. I formation, really haven't been out of that formation hardly at all this game. They'll hand it off to Zudevern, fights for a couple extra yards as he'll pick up about 3 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and about 5, maybe even down to 4 for Sandhills Thedford.
3rd down, 3 to go.
Pleasanton making some substitutions. They substitute quite a bit on both sides of the ball, does Pleasanton. But right now, the methodical offense of Sandhills Thedford has just been too much. Alstrom under centers. They'll hand it off to Picorni on the far side. Hurdles a man. He's to the 40. Only one man to beat. Good juke move, but a great open field tackle from Craig Kingston, as that was 6 points, but able to stay in front of Picorni and knock him down, but not before picking up the first and more.
Yeah, that was a great play by Kingston in the open field to bring Picorni down. But again, you see the moves that Picorni has. Yeah, you can see a runner always have moves when he gets to the outside and it's one-on-one, but the moves he makes in the hole itself, boy, just impressive.
Sandhills Thedford at the 33-yard line. They'll hand it off to Picorni, has a blocker going to the near side. Able to get up to about the 22-yard line, but Kingston is able to grab him by the ankles and drag him down, but That'll be another first down for the Knights. Here's we head under. We're at 5:26 on the clock here in the third quarter.
Unofficially, we got Dane now at 146 yards for the game. Another impressive showing by the junior, right? Running back. He'll be back. And you look at this Sandhills Thedford team, Gavin, I mean, it's not like it's completely senior-led. And wow, they've got a lot of young dudes out there who are going to be coming back.
I formation. Ahlstrom will hand it off to Picorni on the far side, fighting through some holds. Picorni still on his feet. He'll get knocked down at the 15-yard line. So a big gain there from Picorni. And you were talking about the non-senior heavy team. They'll have a few to replace. Grant Ahlstrom, Matt Daly, both seniors heading down the line. Land Wild, we've seen him on the defensive side of the ball. Tyson Stingle, also a senior. And then the last two seniors, Reed McFadden and Brayton Brannick. Those are the seniors for Sandhills Thedford. But, you know, you mentioned some of those other names are coming back. Parker Ballinger, Dane Picorni, Reese Zudevern. Your backfield essentially is going to be right back here next year. Ahlstrom under center, allows Zudevern split to the far side. Some kind of miscommunication as Picorni, for the first time this game, goes backwards for a yard. That'll bring up 3rd and a long 4 for Sandhills Thedford.
Yeah, that play just didn't really develop well, and Jyshawn Pugh, the big junior, 280 pounds for Pleasanton, was able to come in and make the tackle.
Sandhills Thedford in no hurry here in the third quarter. 3:40 remaining here in the third. We'll have Zudevern split to the side briefly, as we'll have offsides against Pleasanton. And very lucky, I think, is Sandhills Thedford, because Picorni went into his move for that misdirection, but Pleasanton jumps over first. So that'll be a first down for Sandhills Thedford. First down and 10 at the 11-yard line on Pleasanton's side of the field. I formation. Ahlstrom under center. He'll take the snap, hand it off to Zudevern, finds a hole, looking right the middle, runs over a man, and he's into the end zone. Zudevern adds another touchdown to his total. Kingston tried to get in the way, but just too much power to stop on those shoulders and legs of Reese Zudevern.
Boy, what a half for Reese, huh? he had 5 yards rushing in the first half, but now they've been feeding him. He broke loose for a 60-yard touchdown run, now an 11-yard touchdown run, as Sandhills Thedford continues to add points on the board.
48-0. I formation looking for the 2-point conversion. They'll hand it off to Zudevern, and he'll jump into the end zone and fall forward for the 2 points. Sandhills Thedford now up 50-0 here in the third quarter. Under 3 minutes. We'll just keep it here, as both teams have really not taken a whole lot of time in their huddles before coming on to the field for the kickoff. Remember, these two teams faced off earlier in the year. Sandhills Thedford put up 345 yards total. Much of it was on the ground with 315, only 30 yards through the air. Pleasanton, they had a pretty decent time on the ground with 192 yards, but unfortunately 5 fumbles, with 2 of those being returned for touchdowns, were a big killer for that team, as they were able to, as Sandhills Thedford was able to win that 77-24. Well, they are on pace for that right now, up 50-0 here in the third. Gugamus will kick it away. His leg starting probably to feel a little bit tired. Went, bobbles the ball, able to pick it up at the 5-yard line. He's going to dodge a tackler at the 15, head to the far side, 20, cuts back into the middle. He's coming across the field. He's to the 30, 35, 40. There's a flag on the field to back. Gugamus able to cut him back into the inside before the tackle is made at the 26-yard line. But this one may be coming back. The flag sitting on the 20-yard line, and it will be holding called against Pleasanton. So a big return from Wendt is wiped out by the penalty, and Pleasanton will head back into their own side of the field to start their offensive drive.
Well, when you think of Pleasanton, Gavin, you just can't help but go back to the first half when they had a couple of scoring opportunities. To come out of those when you were driving the ball, looking like maybe you were going to get points, to not get anything. Boy, that's just something you can't overcome when you're playing a team like this in Sandhills, Thedford. And we know how the game can go sometimes. When those things go against you, then the game can start to snowball, and that's kind of what has happened to Pleasanton here tonight.
So Pleasanton will start on their own 10-yard line as the clock rolls at 2:30 here in the third.
But let me say this, partner. This is just my opinion. This says more about Sandhills Thedford than what it says about Pleasanton.
Mm-hmm.
This is how good this Sandhills Thedford team is.
Taking the shotgun snap, the direct snap is Wendt. He's able to escape a tackle, but only able to escape one before being ridden down by McFadden at the 11-yard line.
Again, the speed from the backside. McFadden chasing him down and holding Wendt to just a yard.
And understand this front line of Sandhills Thedford is not small. McFadden, 210 pounds, Brannick, 270, McIntosh, 190. They are quick on their feet. We'll have 3 men down as Wendt will be in the shotgun. Takes a direct snap, trying to find a hole anywhere. Can't find it. Able to escape, though, on the far side, but he has to lean forward to pick up maybe two, maybe 2.5. But just, you could see on just the way his helmet was turning, is there's just nowhere to go.
Well, and there's another facet, the discipline, right? The discipline of Sandhills Thedford, not over pursuing, holding your spot, holding your gap. Again, just overall, just a very solid performance for the Knights tonight.
Wendt will take the snap, looking to pass. They're going to go near side, having a man and overthrowing it briefly, just a little bit too long on it, as that one will fall incomplete. Looking for Kingston was Wendt. In coverage was Ahlstrom. So that will bring up 4th down for Pleasanton, as Caden Hakey will come in to receive the punt, as does Gugamus. As we might see some changes here on both sides of the ball. Pokorny heads out. 30 seconds left here in the quarter. Kingston back to punt it away, puts his foot into it, wobbly kick. It'll bounce at about the 30-yard line. Hakey picks it up, bobbles it briefly, steps back, gets it at the 30. Goes to the near side. He'll be knocked down at the 34-yard line, which is where Sandhills Thedford will start their offense. And you expect, as the third quarter winds to an end, the starters may have completed their quarterfinal action. We head to the fourth. Sandhills Thedford with a 50 spot here in the quarterfinal against Pleasanton, 50-0 here on KBBN and streaming online.
Teresa Bass with Bass Enterprises, located in Broken Bow, is proud to support all varieties of sports in central Nebraska, and especially the athletes that compete in them. Teresa offers accident, dental, cancer, and hospital plans, as well as VSP Vision Insurance. Give her a ring at 870-1485 or swing in and talk to her in Broken Bow about how she can help with your coverage. Enjoy the broadcast, brought to you by Teresa Bass with Bass Enterprises of Broken Bow.
Sargent Irrigation may be known worldwide, but their roots are right here in central Nebraska, something they are very proud of. They hire right here in the heartland and know their success is due to those quality employees. As a way of showing support for the community, Sargent Irrigation sponsors high school sports broadcasts, so those unable to attend can follow the action. Enjoy the broadcast, sponsored in part by Sargent Irrigation in Broken Bow.
Sandhills Thedford will start with the ball here in the fourth quarter. Gugamus will hand it off, as we'll have a bunch of new players in for both teams. We'll call them out as they are involved. I believe Hakey took that handoff there, is able to pick up about half a yard on the play. That is Hakey. So Braden Gugamus will come into the game as the quarterback. Hakey in the backfield. as I'm sure Scranton is also in there as well. Hakey will sit as the halfback, Scranton as the fullback. Guggemos will go under center, 2nd and 9, as there will be a false start against Sandhills Thedford. That'll back him up. 5-yard penalty against Sandhills Thedford will make it 2nd and 14 for the Knights.
Well, the Knights appear to be headed to the state semifinals next week, and what a thrill it will be for them to know that they will host no matter what. Last score we had on the other side of the bracket, Osceola was leading Falls City Sacred Heart 28-14 at the half.
Guggemos hands it off to Hakey. He's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, so that will bring up 3rd down and 10 for Sandhills Thedford. And you mentioned them being back at home. Sandhills Thedford will only play one game on the road at someone else's stadium, with the exception, obviously, if they are able to get through the semifinal next week. One game on the road. They have played everything else at home, which is a huge advantage.
Yeah, and they came to a place that they knew.
Mm-hmm. Under center, 3rd down and 10 for Sandhills Thedford. Scranton on the near side. He'll get the pitch. He'll get driven out of bounds. And that'll bring up 4th down for Sandhills Thedford, as the punt team will come onto the field, and most of those will be the starters. Not very often do you have a second punt team, and especially in Class D2. So most of the starters back onto the field for Sandhills Thedford, as I believe Matt Daly will be kicking this one away. First time he's had to punt the ball in a week or more. Snap back a little bit high. He's able to cover it, puts his foot into it. Good punt, end over end, spinning toward Went. He'll take it at the 10-yard line, trying to find an opening hole anywhere, running back and forth, and he'll be knocked down at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Pleasanton as they take over at the 20-yard line, and a good defensive stand by the second team. .26 as the clock continues to roll here in the 4th quarter. Sandhills Thedford on their way to the state semifinals. They will take on the winner of Osceola or Falls City Sacred Heart, depending on how that one comes to an end. Kingston under center. He'll take the snap, tosses the far side, looking for a hole is Went. He'll be wrapped up at the 21-yard line, as Went has definitely earned a good night's sleep tonight. Not only has he been in the wildcat position, he's picked up a couple of passes.
2nd and 9.
Also carried the ball quite a bit here in this game. Martinson will be in shotgun now. Went will come out to the near side. Martinson awaits the snap. He'll take it. Fakes the handoff. Looking to pass. Has time. Looking to scramble. Now being chased out of the pocket. Goes to the far side. Pitches it ahead. Good little shovel pass over to, as that's Westland's first reception. Now coming to the near side is Westland. He'll be hit and be knocked down at the 36-yard line. First reception there from Westland. A nice little shovel pass off of the hand of Martinson.
1st down Bulldogs at the 9:35.
As that'll move the ball all the way up to the, they do mark him down at the 35-yard line for forward progress. 7:45 remaining here in this game. Heck of a season Pleasanton has had. Unfortunately, ran into a juggernaut of a team. Martinson on the screen will throw it over to Went. Cutting back to the middle, coming to the near side, right up the middle. He'll get knocked down at the, we'll see where they mark him, the 19-yard line, which is where Pleasanton will have a 1st down and 10.
Hakey and Rhett McFadden, exactly.
Pleasanton definitely earned a spot here in the quarterfinals, knocking off Wynot, who was the 4 seed.
20-yard line.
Which, if you are really big into seedings, that frightens you for anyone facing against this Sandhills Thedford team. Martinson back to pass, looking, got time, throws it to the near side, Went with the reception, and he'll be tackled immediately about the 14-yard line. Might mark him down even at the 13, so that'll bring up second down, excuse me, for Pleasanton.
Second down.
Pleasanton taking their time here. 6:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Lots of great playing time here for the second team of the Knights. Martinson looking to pass, going to go right to Mortensen. A jump ball, knocked down. There were 4 Knight defenders around the senior. And honestly, that was a really good pass by Martinson. A jump ball, if you're going to throw it up in the air, that's the guy to throw it to. It's 6 feet 5 inches. Unfortunately, that much defense around him, just unable to reel it in.
Well, we've talked about it all night. Westland, whenever he has went out in a pass route, has drawn a crowd. And there were quite a few white and green shirts around him that time.
Probably going to look to him again as Martinson has to scramble out of the pocket. He has an opening if he wants to run. Throws it over the middle to Kingston. Cuts back to the near side. He'll be knocked down at the 2-yard line. That'll be a first down and goal for Pleasanton, trying to break that goose egg off the board as we tick under 5.5.
From the 2.
Good job by Martinson to come off his primary receiver, check down, and then find Kingston. And now Pleasanton an opportunity to get on the board.
Trying to send these seniors out on a positive note. There's a handful of them for Pleasanton. They'll go under center this time with Kingston. Play clock winding down. Kingston will take the snap, looking to pass immediately. Goes to the near side, nearly picked off. Undercutting the route was Hakey. Looking to get it over to Reese was Kingston, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, you said it. Hakey with good anticipation. Undercut the route and almost picked it off.
Great awareness there by Hakey. Caden Hakey, a 165-pound sophomore. Kingston will go under center. Went in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Went. He'll be the second man through, and he'll walk into the end zone for 6 points. Pleasanton able to score here in the fourth quarter. 4:21 remaining. Getting that goose egg off the board. While you might take a loss here this evening, has to feel a little bit good for those seniors who are leaving, including Tice Westland, Wyatt Reese, Cinch Heichel, Broderick Pates. Those are the seniors for Pleasanton. Excited to see what Westland does in Wyoming. Here's his career will continue with football. Under center is Kingston. Throws it back across his body, able to connect right in the middle of the field on the crossing pattern with Wyatt Reese. And that'll make the score 50-8. Sandhills Thedford leading and on their way to the state semifinal next week at home.
Consolidated Companies is a proud sponsor of our student athletes. Everyone wants to get to the events and cheer on their students, but sometimes you just can't. Keeping up to date on all the local sports is hard to do, but Consolidated Superfast Broadband can change that. Find all the latest information on local school and broadcast channel web pages, along with news and weather. For more information, call Consolidated at 1-800-742-7464. Plus, look for them now on Facebook, facebook.com/Consolidated Companies.
Sandhills Thedford 50, Pleasanton 8. And Brent, I think you have some updated scores for us with the Osceola Falls City Sacred Heart game.
Yeah, big third quarter for Falls City Sacred Heart. They trailed 28-14 at the half, but they scored 20 unanswered in the third quarter. So as they go to the fourth, it's now Falls City Sacred Heart 34, Osceola 28.
Big game there, close down to the wire. Sandhills Thedford will await the winner of that game. Kingston will tee it up for the Bulldogs. He'll put his foot into it. High, short kick. It'll bounce. And picking it up is Gugamus on the near side. A little shifty move. He'll get thumped, and he'll be knocked down at the 24-yard line.
How big is Braden? 115 pounds?
Yep. I might be with the shoulder pads.
And Tice Westland, 224, 6'5", was the one coming at him. Mr. Gugamus, I just want you to know I've been where you've been. And I know for me, that was so scary when someone like that was coming at me. But great job by Braden tonight.
Yeah, don't have his height on here. If I had to guess, I would say about 5'8", 5'9". Done an excellent job with his foot, though. They'll toss it far side to Hakey, trying to find a seam. Cuts back into the middle, and he'll be knocked down for a loss of about 3 on the play. As we'll have a timeout. Pleasanton will take their first here in the second half. They trail 50-8 here in the game, as probably going to see some substitutions for these players, as Coach Westland talking to, looks like those seniors, as they come off the field, most likely for the final time. It does look like they are coming off, so just a timeout there to recognize those seniors.
Well, if you're just tuning in, 2 big touchdown runs by Reese Zudevern here in the second half for Sandhills Thedford. Broke loose for a 60-yard touchdown run on the opening drive of this second half, and that put Sandhills Thedford up 42-0, and then later Zudevern would score from 11 yards out. And those were the 2 scores for Sandhills Thedford here in the second half.
Gugamus will go under center, as he'll try to draw the defense offside. This time he'll take the snap, hand it off to Hakey, far side, looking for a hole. He squeezes through, able to get up to about the 28, 29-yard line. Looks like they'll mark him out to 29, so that'll bring up 3rd down and about 6 for Sandhills Thedford. Under 3 minutes here in the game.
3rd down, 5.
And understand, while the score is lopsided, this Pleasanton team is very good. They have a lot of talent. Unfortunately, Sandhills Thedford is just so balanced.
Well, you know, it's like I said earlier, this tonight, and even the first time they met, it says more about Sandhills Thedford than it says about Pleasanton.
Hakey takes the handoff, continues to fight forward, does a really good job of churning his legs. Got hit back behind the line of scrimmage, but he's able to lean forward for a couple. However, it'll still bring up 4th down and a long 4 for the Knights.
You know, a week ago I had the opportunity to see Bruning Davenport Shickley, who is probably looked at as the favorite on the other side of the bracket, play against Ansley Litchfield. And by the way, boy, Spartans played so tough that night. But BDS, they're huge. I mean, they are big. They got 2 little scat backs that are tough to tackle. And I don't know, I think about BDS. I get to see Sandhills Thedford for the first time tonight. I don't know if BDS has Sandhills Thedford's speed. If those 2 should hook up, boy, that would be an interesting matchup. But hey, I'm a media guy. I can talk about that stuff. I mean, Sandhills Thedford, they're like, hey, finish things off tonight, and then let's see what we can do in the state semifinals. But having seen both of those teams, that would be an intriguing matchup to say the least.
4th down for Sandhills Thedford. The punt will be put on the foot of Gugamus, as his punt will roll out of bounds at about the 26. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 27-yard line, as Pleasanton will take another timeout. 1:41 remaining here in the game. Following the game, we'll take a look at our unofficial drive chart. Maybe peek at some stats, just some overall thoughts of the game, and we'll see if Coach Dynas makes his way up to the press box to talk with us. Pleasanton still in their huddle as they change some personnel around before bringing them back onto the field.
Been fun working with you, partner. You've done a great job calling it tonight. Kind of a new feel for me to be the color guy, and I've enjoyed it. Been fun working with you.
For once in your life, you were relaxed, I think.
I really was. I almost felt guilty. I'm like, I don't have as much to do as I usually do.
Martinson under center for Pleasanton. He'll fake the handoff. He'll throw it to the far side. He's able to get it over to Carsons there on the far side of the field. Copeland Carsons, a 5'8 freshman, 129 pounds for Pleasanton. 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs.
You know, this is what I love about high school sports. this Pleasanton team fighting, right? You know, you just keep playing, and you play hard no matter what your age, no matter what your grade. You just keep playing hard until the game is completely over.
We'll toss it near side to Nilsson, looking for a seam. He'll cut back onto the far side of the field and then get hit hard by none other than Gugamus. He might weigh 115 pounds, but he does not hit like that.
By the way, I think, you know, since we're here in Pleasanton, I think we need to salute the Pleasanton volleyball team. Wish them the best tomorrow. Made it into the state championship match, undefeated on the season, and I don't know, it probably feels fitting they play Archbishop Bergen because that's the team that's knocked them out of the tournament the last 2 years.
Ball's on the ground on a fumbled snap. Able to fall back on top of it was Pleasanton. And that will wrap things up here as Sandhills Thedford is victorious and is heading to the state semifinal as they beat Pleasanton 50-8 here on KPBN 95.3 FM. A big thank you to everyone who was also watching on our streaming platforms on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and SandhillsExpress.com. Sandhills Thedford has punched their ticket to the state semifinal. They will take on the winner of Falls City Sacred Heart or Osceola. That game went into the fourth quarter just a few minutes ago, so we'll update you as that becomes available. We'll take a timeout and wrap things up here from Pleasanton and hopefully talk to Coach Dynas here on KBBN.
Security First Bank of Thedford combines modern banking innovation with that trusted hometown service to ensure every visit there is a good one. They enjoy helping the families, businesses, and ranches of the area reach their financial goals. The Security First Bank is also an avid supporter of high school activities and glad to sponsor this broadcast. Enjoy the game, sponsored in part by the Security First Bank of Thedford. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bubba's Smoke Shack in Pleasanton. Wood-smoked barbecue, mouth-watering brisket, award-winning barbecue sauce. You get the idea. Whether your event is big or small, they cover them all. Call Bubba's at 308-440-3680. Don't forget to include Bubba's famous beans. They're proud to say that homemade is all they do, and the word reheated is not in their vocabulary. Bubba's Smoke Shack of Pleasanton. Give them a call for your next event. 308-440-3680.
BD would love for you to be a part of their great team. They offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits. Some include health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply online at bd.com/careers. BD loves supporting youth sports and the bright student athletes who work hard to compete in every contest. Remember bd.com/careers to start your journey to being a part of their great team.
At Gateway Motors and Sandhills Motors, they offer warranty forever. It's exactly what it sounds like. No cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, and no deductible. It's powertrain coverage you can get on qualifying new and pre-owned vehicles with less than 100,000 miles. If you need a truck bed, they are now CM truck bed dealers too. Gateway Motors in Broken Bow and Sandhills Motors in Arnold, home of warranty forever. Ask them about it today.
At First State Insurance of Arnold, their independent agents can offer their customers choices that can save you money. They're so excited for these young athletes and are happy to see them continue to play hard. Call Becky or Pat at 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First State Insurance of Arnold. Proud to support their local athletes by sponsoring this broadcast.
Kyle and Carrie Hickey are cheering on the Sandhills Thedford Knights. They are very proud of the hard work the team has shown on and off the field this season. To balance school and sports can be difficult, but this team has done it with flying colors. Congratulations, Knights, on all of your successes. Saying go Knights, Kyle and Carrie Hickey.
Midwest Partitions Incorporated in Thedford would like to take this opportunity to salute all of the student athletes in the area for working hard to prepare for every game of the season. Through all the hard work and determination you show, you're setting a foundation for a successful future after high school. Good work and play hard from Midwest Partitions, delivering expertise, efficiency, and execution. Midwest Partitions Incorporated in Thedford.
Ewald's Grocery is your local community connection for high-quality foods, friendly service, and great prices. Everyone at Ewald's Grocery takes pride in their community, and they appreciate your business. With over 80 years of business, they're honored and privileged to serve the local community. They're big supporters of the Sandhills Thedford Knights and love every opportunity they get to cheer on their hard work and dedication. Ewald's Grocery in Thedford, sponsors of this sports broadcast.
Sandhills Thedford heads to the state semifinals with a 50-8 victory over the Pleasanton Bulldogs, and with a full game recap and just touching on some numbers, Brent Apperson.
Well, I don't know about a full game recap, but we'll kind of sum up a few things here for you. Dane Picorni, big night. Unofficially, we had him for 151 total yards on the ground. Reese Zudervern, 83 yards. All but 5 of those came in the second half. Ripped one loose for 60 yards on a touchdown, then scored later on an 11-yard touchdown run. Unofficially, 83 total yards for Zudervern rushing tonight. Grant Ahlstrom had a solid night, too. 77 yards through the air, threw for 2 touchdowns. Dane Picorni, 2 touchdown runs. Reese Zudervern, 2 touchdown runs. Grant Ahlstrom, 2 touchdown passes for Sandhills Thedford tonight. One of them went to Drew McIntosh, and the other one went to Reese Zudervern. So just an all-around solid performance for Sandhills Thedford tonight. But again, Gavin, I thought that what they did on the defensive side of the ball and what they've done on the defensive side of the ball all year has been one of the most impressive things. I mean, to hold a Pleasanton team to basically 0 points until right at the end when Pleasanton was able to get in and score and make the final 50-8. The way this defense pursues to the ball, the way that they're disciplined, they know their gap responsibility. We just didn't see them over-pursue tonight. Now, there were a couple of times where Pleasanton had the right play call and got them caught in maybe the screen pass. But, boy, for the most part, defensively, just another super solid night for Sandhills Thedford. And Coach Dynas has to be thrilled. I mean, hey, you're a step away, man. You are one game away from going to Lincoln, Nebraska and playing for a state championship, and you know that you're going to play the state semifinal on your turf. That's pretty exciting.
It feels like the ball is really in Sandhills Thedford's court, if you will, for using the wrong analogy. But, you know, they are being handed, you know, a perfect path to be able to punch their ticket, like you said, to Lincoln. And I think probably the biggest thing for me, especially aside from just the overall talent on this team, is being able to host that semifinal.
Oh, it's big.
I mean, there's teams that, you know, wish that they could have played at home as much as Sandhills Thedford did, and with them being at home next week against either Falls City Sacred Heart or Osceola, that's just a big advantage to this team, which is already incredibly good.
Well, yeah, and you think about the team who's going to have to travel. They're not just 20 miles down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to have to make a long trip. So, yeah, I mean, it's all right there in front of them. But I know Coach Dynas will be the first to tell you, hey, you got to go out and win it on the field. The opportunity is there. They're one step away. But you got to make it happen when you take the field a week from tonight.
Well, we're going to take one final timeout. We'll see if Coach Dynas is able to make his way over to the press box. Hopefully we'll catch an interview with him, and then we will wrap things up from here in Pleasanton. Just a quick, nice little note here is Coach Arnsdorf, who is one of the assistant coaches for Pleasanton, heading over and talking to Coach Dynas. Both of those two guys coached basketball, actually girls basketball, for the Sandhills Thedford Lady Knights. So a cool moment there, being able to talk to each other following this game. As I mentioned, we'll hopefully have an interview with Coach Dynas following this timeout here on KBBN.
This high school sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Harsh Mercantile, proud supporters of the Sandhills Thedford Knights. Academics and athletics alike benefit these students. and Harsh Mercantile is proud of the kids, coaches, teachers, and parents. Stop by Harsh Mercantile in Purdom today and talk to them about your operation. Enjoy the broadcast brought to you by night supporters Harsh Mercantile.
Superior Livestock Auction in Thedford is proud to be a sponsor of this sports broadcast. View their video cattle sales online, superiorlivestock.com. For more information about the sales, contact Lemoyne Daily at 402-760-2727. He'd be happy to help you with any questions you may have. Superior Livestock Auction in Thedford, 402-760-2727, and superiorlivestock.com. Proud to support the Sandhills Thedford Knights and this broadcast.
Make the Sandhills Corral in Thedford a destination for awesome food and great times. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 2 and 5 until 10, and feature daily specials as well as Mexican Mondays, Wing Night Thursday, and smoked prime rib on Fridays. Call ahead and check on specials at 645-2323. That's 645-2323 for the Sandhills Corral in Thedford, a community-minded restaurant with a home-cooked feel, because there's nothing better than a great meal and being treated like family. Check them out on Facebook, too, the Sandhills Corral, where it tastes like home and you feel like a neighbor.
And we are now joined up in the booth with head coach Josh Dynas. Brent Apperson's going to have a nice little interview with the coach as he was able to pick up the win over Pleasanton 50-8. Coach, it's got to feel good.
Yeah, it does. I told the boys this is a lot of hard work with everything we've had to do this year with, being quarantined for several months and then trying to get back into it, get in shape, and just working through the school year with COVID. It's been a grind up to this point, and it's not over, and, we're excited.
Coach, first off, let me say what a thrill it was for me to finally get to see you guys play. You and I have been talking on the phone, doing interviews all season long. So impressed with your ball club. And one thing, and you can speak to this better than I can, but even setting up here, I see a team that is focused. I see a team that is dialed in right now. Is that the way you see your team?
Yeah, the first time we played Pleasanton, like I told these guys, and I told the paper and the other radio stations that were here that night, that was the best I'd ever seen this group play. Like, it was almost perfect. It really was, and the way, the intensity, the focus, and everything that we had that night, it was really, really, really good. And I told those guys if we could do that for 5 more games, we wouldn't lose. And tonight, it wasn't quite as good as that night, but I mean, we had a good week of practice. Last week we were a little sloppy at the end of the week on offense, and it showed against Loomis. And Loomis did a really good job giving us some fits. But this week was a lot better, and I think the boys just they were excited for the opportunity to face another really good team, and the fact that we know that we're going to host the semifinals, and that game's going to be in Dunning, whether it's Falls City or Osceola, whoever gets to travel to us, we're looking forward to that. So I think just everything that was at stake and that just kind of made it another big moment, just like it was for that district championship here.
People can get really wrapped up in points and yards being put up offensively, but I think one of the most impressive things you have done this year is what you've done on defense. I mean, to hold this team tonight to just 8 points, to get the stops that you had in the first half when they were threatening to score, man, your defense is probably as good as anybody's defense in the state right now.
Yeah, we're doing a really good job. We've had some opponents, with each game where they've been able to get a series kind of built together, but we've been able to bend but not break when it's came down to key moments. Pleasanton had a couple good plays, got them down there, and then I think a penalty got them to the 5-yard line. We were still able to hold them out, and they're a good club. And throughout the whole year, we had been playing 15 kids, and we lose Trey to an ACL against Ansley, and so we're down to we've been rotating consistently 14 kids on offense and defense, and not many teams can do that at D2, and the kids I tell you what, we got a rotation with all those kids, so we try to keep them fresh. If you look at our statistics on defense, I think Reed had our leading tackles coming in with about 72 total, and I think last year he had 105, and the year before he had like 115. And it's not that we're doing anything different. We're just be able to rotate in more bodies and just give everybody, some more playing time because we feel comfortable with the group that we have. And, and it's just been by committee, and they've done a really good job. Nobody's been like you said, like worried about who's getting the yards on offense, who's making the catches, who's making the throws, or whether Dane or Trey or Reese or Seth's getting a run, or who's making the tackles. They've been a pretty unselfish group.
Last report we had, Fall City Sacred Heart scored 20 unanswered in the third to come back and take the lead 34-28 against Osceola going into the fourth. Regardless of who you play, what's going to be the focus in practice for Sandhills Thedford coming up this week?
Just keep doing what we're doing. We're playing good football right now, and just got to stay sound on defense, and then on offense, we just got to keep trying to wear teams down like we have been. Like here in the playoffs where we've seen Axtell and Loomis, they've done a really good job. Even Pleasanton gave us some fits tonight just a little bit, but just keep running the ball, keep wearing them down, and then when teams sell out a little bit to try and stop the run, just set up with play action. And you saw tonight, Grant made some good throws.
Boy, we're almost to the middle of November.
Yeah.
You're still playing football, Coach.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting.
We will see you Friday.
Yep. See you Friday in Dunning.
All right, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Coach Josh Dynas joining us here on KBBN Radio 95.3 FM. A big thank you to the coach for coming up and visiting with us as Gavin Higgins comes back in. Well, partner, you called it. I'll let you have the final word, but boy, I can't wait to get to Dunning next week.
Well, I think you look at this offense, and we've been talking about it, for weeks, really. It's just about how, balanced they are. And when you saw it on the field tonight, not only was their offense balanced, they ran the ball a lot in the beginning of the game, but right when you thought they were just going to hand the ball off to Picorni or to Zudavern to break things loose, they just throw in a little wrinkle. They break things loose for a wide open score. A couple of just slightly off passes by less than a yard or more, and Sandhills Thedford could have almost put up another 70-point spot on the board again. So just a really balanced offense, and it's just been really impressive and a lot of fun to watch this team almost get better and better each and every week. Brent Apperson had mentioned it before. We will be in Dunning next week, the state semifinal. Sandhills Thedford has punched their ticket. They will be heading to the state semifinal. They will host. We'll have that game for you on 95.3 FM KBBN, online at kbbn.com, and, of course, on the free KBBN app. We've had a great season having the ability to video games and have them online for everyone who is unable to make it. However, due to restraints that we cannot control, we are unable to do any more games on our streaming platforms. So this is the final time that we will have football this season on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, sandhillsexpress.com. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who make this game possible, and there is a lot of them. We want to go over them one final time for everyone so that when you stop in to one of those businesses, you can thank them for being here, as Sandhills Thedford is able to pick up the victory over Pleasanton 50-8. My sheet has disappeared on me, so there we go. As we have one final thank you to all of our sponsors, they include the Roadside Inn, Bass Enterprises, Sargent Irrigation, Consolidated, Security First Bank of Thedford, Bubba's Smoke Shack, BD and Broken Bow, Gateway Motors, First State Insurance, Kyle and Carrie Hakey, Midwest Partitions, Ewalt's Grocery, Harsh Mercantile, Superior Livestock Auction, Sandhills Corral, Sandhills Public Schools, Evans Feed, Nebraska State Bank, Grocery Cart, Trotter Service, Custer Federal State Bank, Rod's Body and Paint, Mead Lumber, Shelter Insurance, local agent Brent Custer, A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping, Squire Septic Service, Arrow Seed, Team Physical Therapy, Agland ATV, Custer Public Power District, Crossroads Auto Repair Specialist, Sandhill Oil Company, Nebraska Land Surveying, 4 County Heating and Air, and Viera Wireless. Sandhills Thedford will host the playoffs next week, the semifinals. They will have a chance to punch their ticket to the state tournament in Lincoln, and you can listen to it right here on 95.3 FM KBBN. For our video producer, Jeremy Shipe, my color man, Brent Apperson, I'm Gavin Higgins. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
Thank you for listening to our coverage of Central Nebraska high school football. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. A special thanks to our sponsors for making the coverage possible. You can thank them by allowing them to be of service to you. Join us next time for more exciting sports action here on 95.3.